Earth.
Air.
Water.
Fire.
For the longest time, the four nations have lived together in harmony. Under the wise leadership of Avatar Roku, the world has experienced an era of peace and prosperity. But with the recent death of Avatar Roku and the arrival of a strange comet in the sky, members of all nations feel the winds and tides of change. With the search for the new Avatar only just beginning, the world seems poised on the brink of conflict. But without the Avatar, who will save the world?
My name is Bree, also known as PrettiPixel, and I am playing Shurva, a warrior from the Fire Nation.
I play Mako, a firebender from the Fire Nation.
Hello, I'm Ali, and I'm playing Oki, a waterbender from the Northern Water Tribe.
I'm Brandon, and I'm Rung-Bolo, an earthbender from the Earth Nation.
Hey, I'm Dave, and my character is Al, the airbender from the Air Nomads.
And I'm Owen, the dungeon master of this ragtag group of members of all four nations. Hello, and welcome to the Lost Archives, everybody. My name's Owen. I'm the dungeon master of this ragtag group of heroes and adventurers. Say hello, heroes and adventurers.
Hello, heroes and adventurers.
Hey, thank you for being specific. Thank you, Brandon and Dave, for repeating me exactly. You two are safe for tonight's elimination round. Welcome back, everybody. We hope you've had a very Merry Christmas, a very Happy New Year. 2021, it was an alright year. I wouldn't put it up there as my top 10 years, but I'm hoping 2022 is a slightly better year. Fingers crossed, hey. But hey, what a way to start the year with some more Avatar Legends. Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you are ready for some excitement and fun. But before we get into Avatar, there's a few announcements I'm going to make. First off, there is a merchandise store for the Lost Archives. Crazy, I know. But what you might not know is that the merchandise is actually extra sexy. For example, ta-da! Yeah, baby. Nice. The Lost Archives t-shirt. And if you're feeling especially ready, you can actually get the Lost Archives mouse pad, which does get automatically filtered by my green screen, but that's okay. You too can use the mouse pad, and I have to say, it's a very nice material, if I do say so myself.
It looks starry.
Wait, green screen. Are you in a green screen room right now?
I'm using an auto green screen. It's a fake green screen. It's like a background remover. Cheeky one. Wow, that's amazing timing. The stream has just automatically posted that. Did one of you guys do that? That's crazy. My stream bot just at that timing. Was that you, was it?
I was just about to say, and where will we buy such products?
Thank you, Shruvi. I was going to say, I was like, looking at this, I was like, that's amazing timing.
Shruvi. I just looked at chat. Sorry.
Fucking Droopy.
My man.
Get out.
My man.
I just want to say, when you said you had a green screen, I thought that your screen that I can see was the green screen, and you just transposed like your room meat behind you the entire time. I'm like, that's a lot of effort to go through to not put in your room.
So you guys see my normal webcam, but the stream sees this starry background behind me because I've got it automatically removed for the stream. There you go. That makes sense. Okay, I get it. Oh my goodness! Thanks for the sub, PrettiPixel, for 5 months.
PrettiPixel.
So
You're welcome.
So that's the first announcement. The second announcement is next week I will be streaming from my new house. So I will do a little tour of that at some point, just to take you guys through my new little house, because I'm very excited about it. And because it is quite a reasonable size, I'm actually going to have a specific recording studio in that area. So I will be able to do proper VR streaming without worrying about bumping into things. I will have areas where I can actually do some quite larger stuff, and I will finally have a proper desk, which is very exciting, because at the moment I've just been using an old table I found on the side of the road, but now I will have a real desk. Which leads me into the new stream that's coming up. I am going to be doing a full playthrough of Pokemon Legends Arceus, or Arceus. I prefer Arceus, but I do know people call it Arceus. Very, very excited for that. I know there's a couple of other streamers who we hang out with a lot. Aquatic Archie, for one, I think is very hyped about that game as well. So I will definitely be chatting to him about that, and we see if we can do some like streaming side by side and maybe do like a time competition together. That'd be pretty fun. And the last announcement is actually about one of our lovely players. Over the holiday period, one of our lovely players got engaged. Congratulations, Dave. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Very, very exciting.
Congrats, brother.
Pretty excited. It's long time coming. So
Yeah, I was going to say, I was wondering when that was going to happen since the whole time I've known you. Literally the entire length of our friendship, I've been like, must be coming sometime soon. Like, he's got that planned, right? At some point.
yeah, I've always been like, I'll do it later.
No,
I'll
yeah,
do it later. But
I'm in the exact same position. We're both waiting
Gotta
for
be
our
sure.
partners to get to the stage where they've like a PhD's not constantly crushing them down and they have the room to actually enjoy that particular sort of thing. So I'm not saying that I might have some exciting news in 3 weeks' time, but I'm not saying that I'm not going to have that. So carry on. Alrighty.
Do it quick, or she'll do what I did and just propose herself. Get sick of waiting.
Ah, there you go.
It's easier, hey.
No, but if your partners are doing PhDs, they don't have that. There's not enough room in their brains for that because the PhD takes up everything. There's nothing else in their life. The PhD just crushes them slowly. Am I right, Dave?
I'm not agreeing, but I'm definitely not disagreeing. So.
I'm taking that as an agreement. Well, that is all my fun announcements. I think have I missed any fun announcements? I think that's everything.
It's a new year, and none of us died of COVID.
Hey, and
Bonus.
Yes.
I mean, we are. Sorry, I should say actually, Andrew. He is coming to us from beyond the grave. This is a seance. You can tell by the red curtains in the background of his video that he's currently.
He is the green screen.
He's currently talking to us through a medium because only a psychic would have curtains like that in their room, right?
Yeah,
Like it's
honestly,
very-
yeah.
yeah. So that's
Fair.
Sorry, Andrew. I
No,
do
no,
love your
fair.
curtains. I'm just a blinds man. What can I say? So we should probably get into Avatar Legends. I was a blind man, but now I've had my laser somewhere sweet. We should probably get into Avatar Legends. So it has been, I think, from my calculations, about 4 or 5 weeks since we last played. So too long. So I'm guessing that most people may not remember where we were up to. So I have got a nice big thick recap to take you through so that it's a hefty recap to get you guys back up to speed, and then we'll jump into your advancement, because at the end of last session, you may or may not remember, you guys actually advanced, which is the Avatar Legends equivalent of leveling up. So we'll go through that step by step. I think this is the first one we're actually doing with you guys as a group. In the normal Avatar Legends, you do it at the end of every single session. You ask some questions and do that. Because of the way we're kind of doing this story-based, and because we're still working on the quick start guide, there's been a little bit of a delay to the full rules being released from Magpie Games. I think there's a bit of a delay over Christmas. If I'd had you guys leveling up at the end of every session, you would have completely exhausted all the options in the quick start guide, and you would have nowhere else to level up to. By this point, I think by episode 6. So I wanted to kind of slow you guys down, give us a bit of breathing room, make sure we can do it. So we've been doing it at the end of sort of milestones, as if it's like a Dungeons and Dragons milestone level up system. But when the full rules come out, I'll reassess that and see how we want to attach it. But before we go through your level ups, let's do a recap. And yeah, let's get into it. Our story has been following Shurva and Mako of the Fire Nation, Rung of the Earth Kingdom, Oki of the Water Tribe, and Aal of the Air Nomads. The children of important ambassadors of each of the 4 nations, they have been attending a historic summit at the Beifong estate. With the recent death of Avatar Roku and the arrival of a strange comet in the sky, omens of war and conflict seem numerous. After being captured by the Dai Li, the group have managed to escape into the Si Wong Desert. After some assistance from a friendly sandbender, the group sought refuge in the Misty Palms Oasis and acquired a sandship of their own. Spending some downtime, the group discussed their plans and prepared for the journey ahead. But after Mako revealed his identity to the local Earth Kingdom soldiers, the group were forced to flee the Oasis, with 2 Earth Kingdom students in tow who are searching for the lost library of Wan Shi Tong. Locating the library deep within the desert, the group spent some time exploring and learnt some interesting information from the various historical and bending scrolls contained within. However, their time in the library was cut short by the arrival of a number of firebenders and Fire Nation soldiers led by a priest of the Fire Nation. After successfully avoiding these newcomers at first, as the Fire Nation entered as a group, the group unfortunately soon drew attention to themselves and was surrounded by the Fire Nation soldiers. As the situation quickly grew tense, Wan Shi Tong arrived and impatiently asked for an explanation for the ruckus. The Fire Nation priest revealed that the 5 of our heroes are now wanted murderers on behalf of the Fire Nation, as the Fire Nation ambassador, Mako's father, was found dead, and they have been implicated in his death. And they've also wanted for conspiring to disrupt the peace summit. and the theft of some important plans and documents. After attempting to clear their names, the argument between our heroes and the Fire Nation enraged Wan Shi Tong, who began sinking the library deep into the sands. While the Fire Nation and our heroes attempted to flee, Aal and Oki were able to convince Wan Shi Tong to allow the two students, Lee and me, to escape along with the group. As the sandstorm around the library intensified, a fight broke out between the Fire Nation soldiers and our heroes. Despite a few tense moments, the group were able to emerge victorious, and as the sandstorm closed in around them, they suddenly found themselves back in the desert, their sand ship next to them undamaged, while the Fire Nation ironclad tank had been torn apart by the winds. The moon showed that the time in the library had passed far faster than time in the outside world. Oki was able to estimate that in fact 2 full days had passed them by while they were in the library, a time period that only felt like an hour or so, 2-3 hours to them. Now, we finished last session with the players advancing their characters and developing their skills, so we're going to go through that really, really quickly now. So who has done their advancement already?
As in picking
Bree.
the playbook move?
As in they've done the growth and advancement. So we went through all the questions last time. All of you were eligible for a level up. So the questions are free. So we'll go through this again in case you guys are interested. So the questions you have to answer are, did you learn something challenging, exciting, or complicated about the world? Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Did you stop a dangerous threat or solve a community problem? Yeah, you have stopped some dangerous threats and solved some community problems. Did you guide a companion towards balance or end the session at your center? I think most of you had done that as well. In addition to this, there's also some specific playbook unique personal questions as well, which each of you went through as well last session. All of you had ticked, I think it was 3 of the boxes, so you therefore got to advance, which is really exciting. So you can take a new move from your playbook, so you can add a new move to your abilities. You can take a new move from another playbook, but you can only take a maximum of 2 moves from other playbooks. Keep that in mind. You can raise a stat by 1, which is quite nice if you want to be better at rolling. You can shift your center 1 step, but not so much of it. I think that's more one that you do when you're really like out of balance, essentially. And you can unlock your moment of balance if you are already in the center. But again, I think at this point you guys are probably better off looking at taking new moves or adding a new bending technique. So that was the last one, is you guys have all spent a bit of time with some bending scrolls and with some combat scrolls. So Rung, you've been learning sand bending. What was the scroll that you'd been looking through? I believe it was
Whirlwind.
Yeah, the whirlwind, running around in a circle with the whirlwind. Oki, you'd been looking at some intense forms of ice bending, was it? Yeah, it was the... I can't remember, was it the ice bending? I think it was.
I think it was.
Yeah.
Well, I picked up the
It was ice
main
bending. You had
the
shot.
first ice bending from the
Yeah.
first episode,
Yeah.
and then I think the second one was like more ice. I honestly can't remember.
It's okay. That's all right. From memory, my memory's telling me that the scroll that you were looking at was the more complicated ice bending, so sort of mastering ice bending techniques. Mako, yours was lightning, and Shurva, yours was the Kyoshi Warriors style, more martial arts. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So if you guys wanted to take those, what you can do is on your character sheets, there's a section underneath your skills and abilities where it says what type of character you are. So I'll just pull open the example so I can take you through it, because I can't remember exactly what it looks like off the top of my head. So I'll use Oki as an example. So if you go to character sheet, underneath the name, look, background, demeanor, there's your training. And then your training is like waterbending, firebending, earthbending, airbending, weapon specialist. Under fighting style, you can add this new fighting style. So you can just do a comma and add the new fighting style you've learned. So for Rung, you just write sandbending, because you've kind of gotten a bit better at mastering sandbending. You'd add in, I think we can probably call that like advanced airbending, in terms of, you can just put advanced airbending then like whirlwind or something like that next to it if you like as well. And so you can just add those sections in there as well. And that's where you can put those fighting styles, if that's what you wanted to take as your advancement. Don't let me press you. But any questions about advancement or growth while I have a swig of beer?
Was that so they found that so it's got growth improvements and other improvements in there?
What's your question, sorry?
I'm just looking to where to choose your ability Narinos.
If you wanted to increase creativity, focus, harmony, or passion, if you wanted to increase one of those, or if you wanted to take a new move.
I was looking for a new move, yeah.
Yeah, so if you go to your move section, so underneath everything else, underneath the fatigue, balance, conditions, where it says moves in that central column, you can actually tick which one you'd like. So you could pick one from your playbook, which is Suspicious Mind, furrowed brow
yeah,
or
I see what
martyr
you
complex,
mean.
and you
That
can just
makes
tick that,
sense,
and it'll
yeah.
go black, and you've now got access to it. And then there's also the other playbook moves underneath it, if you wanted to. So you thinking, are you not going to take sandbending as much? Are you going to kind of focus on a new move?
Oh no, definitely the sandbending.
Okay.
So it's one or the other.
Yes, yeah. You pick one thing to advance in.
Yep. So I just
Is
choose
Mako
other moves
considered a
and
community
then just
problem?
go sandbending. Ha.
Yeah, so just in that top section underneath your training. So I can write it in if you like, so I can show you where it is. So if you look at your character sheet, underneath the waterbending, earthbending, firebending, if we scroll all the way along, actually I'm going to put it at the front if that's okay. I'm going to put it right at the very front of that. I'm going to type in sandbending, comma. Alright, so if you scroll it, you should be able to see that there on your character sheet. So it's just
so
above
I'm
the...
gonna bench the
above-
ice.
Ah.
You see it?
Yes.
Perfect.
Bending.
You got it, man. We got this.
There we go.
So yeah, we ended last session with me and Lee basically telling you guys, like, I'm pretty confident that Wan Shi Tong took the library back to the spirit wilds. That what we're seeing, it's not sunk, it's gone. He's taken it back to the spirit wilds. I guess that's where Lee and I need to, where me and I need to head next. That's where we want to go. We've still got scrolls, and they hold up scrolls which they still accidentally did not put back from the rush of leaving and running out the door. They actually are still holding 2 scrolls.
Anything
We didn't mean
interesting
to
on those
steal
scrolls?
Oh, it's a good question. Yeah, you can hold out your hand, ask to have a bit of a look, sure. I'll pass them over.
I'll give it back to you, I promise. I don't want to steal from Wan Shi Tong.
No, that's okay. Hands it over. Have you had a
It's
bit
not
of a look
stealing if
through?
it's already stolen.
Questionable.
Possession is 9/10 of the law?
Any
Exactly,
lawyers in
you're
any
right.
lawyers in chat, feel free to correct our players. Yeah, okay. Do you want to? What do you reckon? I reckon that'd be assess a situation.
Assess the situation.
Our first
Where is
roll
it
of the
from?
night.
There it is. Woot woot. Oh, hang on. Nope, there's another box. Oh,
6. Oh dear. Okay. 6 is a failure. As you're having a bit of a look
First
through,
failure of the year.
first failure of the year, 2020 is off to a cracker of a start. Yeah, okay, as you're looking through very dense history text, and you find your concentration, attention, and care factor slipping rapidly as you attempt to read this. It's very, very boring. Very dense, very boring. It's just, at this point, as you start to read, it's kind of a little bit like the Silmarillion, where there could be a good story in there somewhere, but the first 30% of it is just names and dates. And it's like,
So it's essentially just Journey to the West.
yeah, sure, yeah. Yeah, it's not a page turner. It is very dense. It sort of starts off by listing, like Kang the Conqueror lost to the Earthbender Bonk, who took him out using like various sandbending techniques. He then lost to Gorunk the Wise, who tricked him and stabbed him in his sleep. And it's just a list of all this, like some sort of line of ascension potentially.
If you read this out, Rung would just be like, impossible. You can't stab an earthbender in his sleep for hours a week. Stern, watching. I don't like this. It's Rung.
Lee will hold his hand back out for the scroll. If you as soon as you show any disinterest, he sort of like holds his hand back out to take it off you. Yeah, he takes it off you and tucks it away.
You'll have to give me a short version when you have a time to read it, review it, and then tell me the interesting parts.
Oh, this is the abridged version.
That's the abridged version?
This is the abridged version. Yes, this is a history of the line of ascension of the Earth Kings and Queens.
Huh. Anything in there that would be good to know or helpful in any way for us that
Well, if
you've
you-
read
if-
so far?
If you wanted to know the line of ascension of the Earth Kings and Queens,
Not
unscrolls it.
particularly, no.
Here's all the names and dates.
Why would one want to know the line of ascensions of the Earth's kings and queens just for theory's sake?
Oh, I was looking for a different scroll. I thought this was an index when I grabbed it.
Well, it's good to have.
Not very bright, are you?
Rung.
Sometimes.
No, I was talking about whoever grabbed that scroll thinking it was an index.
Oh, sorry, I
Oh,
always assume when someone's talking.
He turns it around, and it literally says index on it, and he goes, I don't know, I thought it was, and then he unscrolls it, and you see the hidden underneath the fold is index of the kings and queens of the Earth Kingdom. It's like, to be fair, I think this was an easy mistake to make.
Yeah, okay. I see.
Well,
It's
who's
easier than the mistakes I've made.
is it up to date? Like, has it got the current king or queen of the Earth Kingdom, which I would know as an Earthbender naturally, but just escaped my mind?
Does the DM know that? Who was the Earth Queen? I think I have Earth Queen at the time of Avatar Roku. I've got no idea.
Maybe
who
we
the
just
Earth...
got like from date range to date range. Maybe we got an old one.
Who was the Earth Queen or King at the time of Avatar Roku?
I'm
I'm
sorry to
guessing.
confuse you.
I'm guessing. No. I need to know this shit. I'm hoping that no one knows because it wasn't said. I can't see anything about it. I've done a quick check. I am going to. I will retcon this if I am incorrect, but I am going to say the Earth Queen. I'm gonna say the Earth King is Hu Kuei. Yep.
Wait,
Oh, what's up, Oki?
who?
Wait. Oh, she's gone.
No,
It sounds like Korra. I suspect. I'm going to make a guess that Korra, Ali's dog, has tripped and taken out her streaming.
Just shat itself. I'll be back on in a second.
No worries.
Oh my
Was it
god,
Korra?
you guys live together? Shit.
No,
Hu Kuei.
not dog
Earth Queen.
related.
Yes, as Lee begins reading through, he's like, yes, it is. Hu Kuei. Earth Queen, yes. Yes, this is correct. It is up to date.
Incredible.
Why? Why do you want to know?
I just thought it'd be interesting that if we, like, say, if it's like an encyclopedia, like you just got like one section of like 100-part encyclopedia, I just thought it'd been great if we had one from like 100 years ago or something. It's just interesting to know. Well, no.
Wait, this isn't right.
Just a thought.
No, something's wrong here. It
But it's
says
not
that.
indexed.
Oh, it says that she ascended via assassination, but that's not correct. That's not right at all. It says here, used agents of the Dai Li to take power. That's not right at all. This scroll's a fabrication.
It sounds rather suspicious, considering that we just came against a lot of Dai Li and a lot of angry Earthbenders. Do you think, how would he know?
This
how would he know?
cannot be correct. And he goes to
No.
tear the scroll in half. Like he
I
pulls it and
wouldn't
goes
do
to
that.
tear.
No.
I flick sand at him to like, hey,
Don't get sent on the scroll. Don't get sent on the scroll.
Oh man, I wish I had the voice changer open. I was gonna do like a Wan Shi Tong, be like, my scroll. So Mako begins going, no. Mako, can you please do a plead with an NPC for me? Rung,
God.
you're flicking sand in his face.
Oh yeah, distractions.
I
Yeah, do you
disappeared
wanna-
for 3 seconds.
Do you want to roll me with focus, Rung? Mako, 13.
Absolutely can.
Mako, so do you say anything else or just no?
No, don't kill us.
Somehow that does persuade him, and he sort of stops and lets go. And as he
of
does
course it
so, Rung, what do you do? Can you take me through what you do? You kick sand in his face, or do you like pull sand out of your pocket? And go, like pocket
it's sort of
sand,
just, like
fling it in.
yeah, like the thing. I've just got pocket sand and use my sandbending just to like aim it more at like his forehead, not his eyeballs. I don't want to hurt him, but just like sandblast in the forehead.
Sandblast
stop
in
that.
the head. Okay, yeah. So can you no. So as you flick sand at his face, he sort of like with his other hand free. Now that he's let go of the scroll, he sort of holds his hand up to semi-protect himself, and a bit of sand just splashes across him. He goes, "I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. Dear Lord, sorry. I'm not doing it by the spirits.
But
Unbelievable."
also, cool there for a little second here, but this is obviously going to be important because someone's dead now. And we need to confirm this is true, and this could be evidence as I look over to my boy Al and say this could be evidence in our detective work.
Oh, for
we could
fuck's sake.
We had
Al
back
has
in the
not
big
been
city.
paying any attention. He's been building
Yeah.
sand castles because he's just fatigued. It's just mounds of
Good work,
sand.
Detective Al.
He's trying to build a castle, but it's just a hill.
Can your
Body-
like shit
body
talking
fine,
saying?
no.
Can your shit talking saying Rung be like, I'm gonna put dirt in your eye? Can that be your
I'm gonna flick sand in your eyes. 'Cause I hate sand.
while this is going on, Shurva, me walks over to you, sort of looking at the boys fucking about, and looks at you and goes, thank you for getting us out of there. I heard what you did, that you and your companions pled for us to be allowed to leave the library. Lee won't have thanked you, but I will thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
We wouldn't leave you behind like that. We're not animals.
Thank you.
No man left behind, ever.
Yes. No man left behind. Or woman left behind. Yes. What's your plan next? Where are you headed next? Lee and I are going to try and make our way to the spirit world, so we're probably going to have to head to either the North or the South Pole, I imagine.
I
recommend the
believe we're
south.
heading north. We were heading up to
Towards Ba Sing Se.
Ba Sing Se. Yeah. That's north from here, right?
Yeah, but Andrew, what do you think about going to Ba Sing Se?
No.
Wow.
I can't remember
Wow.
our plans. Were we gonna go to the
You were doing naughty
In
things.
the big
there,
rock,
weren't
weren't
you?
we?
Oh yeah, the
go
big
to-
rock.
Yeah, to the big rock.
The
Yeah, that's what I was
lodestone.
thinking. But I also don't want to go there now.
Why not?
Oh, you know how I wanted criminals.
Well,
And,
Lodestone's covered by
Fire Nation
vulture
soldiers?
bees. And that.
Okay, but
As you
have
say-
you ever
as you
seen
say, we're
Avatar?
wanted-
We just need to tie our hair up differently, and they won't recognize us.
I'm gonna let you
Yeah,
know right
but-
now.
Bless you.
That sort of kitty bullshit does not happen. Like, if you-
What are you on
Um,
about? If I just use a scarf to cover my face, they won't know it's me.
As
Yeah, I'm
Mako
pretty sure it's
says,
a
we're
bird
wanted
somewhere.
criminals now. Me and Lee both pause, and me looks over and goes, "I'm sorry, what?"
Well, we defended the
Fun story.
library from Fire Nation people, and like that will just mean that we're wanted by the Fire Nation for doing the right thing.
But sorry,
which is
you're,
the bad
you're wanted.
thing. for
You're
them.
wanted criminals.
They're all assholes.
Only by like a small faction of people. It's fine. We'll be
I
sorted
don't
out.
know
in no
about
time.
criminals. We're just wanted.
Dead or alive.
We're just wanted. That's a t-shirt. Yeah.
It'd be fine though. Like, wanted criminals everywhere. It's not going to be an issue.
I can
There's
sort
really
this
wanted
nice.
criminals everywhere.
I can sort this out. It's not a problem.
How much red are you wearing right now?
We're in our sand stuff, aren't we?
It's
We're all in our
just in
sand
drink
stuff.
scope.
You're all in your sandbender outfits, yeah.
Oh, good. Good. Thought so.
Right. Well, me and I, our plan is to make our way out of the desert and head towards. Okay, you said the South Pole.
I would recommend it over the North Pole. The North Pole has more resources and whatnot, but they're also assholes. They're a giant bunch of assholes, and you'd get caught up in like 5 years of politics before they even let you see the spot of the spirit portal. Whereas the South, they're much nicer. Smaller, but much nicer.
Okay. Sure.
Oh, sorry.
well,
I heard politics.
And
I
also
fell
more
asleep for a
difficult to get
second
to.
there.
we
Al
might.
has never heard the expression assholes before because, you know, air nomads. And he just doesn't know what to think. He's gobsmacked.
Why is that? What a tribe member calling them a rectum? I don't understand. The rectum serves a vital function in the human body. It removes waste.
In the air nomads, we're just bald.
Did you no, you couldn't call someone bald.
Well, I think this might
We'll
be
teach
where
you some
we.
swear words. We got a couple.
I think this might be where we part ways. If you're heading
How
deeper
are
into
you-
the desert,
The question: how are you going to leave here, though?
we've got supplies and rations. We've got a sand
Yeah,
tent. We'll
you
just
gonna
move
walk?
at night. And we have sand shoes, and they pull out of their packs these
Oh,
large,
right, yeah, you do have those,
almost
yeah,
like
yeah.
skis, but sort of about a meter long, wide brimmed, and they're designed to sort of slide over the sand rather than walking, sliding.
I go, I'm like, wait, before you go, a gift. I go back to the sand boat, and what was it? The moistiest?
The
quenchiest.
Quenchiest.
I head to the
The
quenchiest
moistiest.
quickly. Yeah, I knew it was something like that.
That wasn't even a vote option, I don't think.
That was an option, but hey.
It could be one really moist looking. Anyway,
That wasn't an option. I was going to veto that.
No.
When she's just okay.
I get them a towel that I bought from town. Like, you're going to need this. When you're in the desert, you always need a towel. Takes you from sand, keeps you dry, and keeps you warm. A gift.
Just say thank you, Lee. Just say thank you and take the towel. Yes. Thank you, Rung. Thank you for this. And take the towel.
Give them the dried fruits that are covered in salt.
Covered in salt.
Wait.
Oh, that's right. I remember now. Oh, thank you. Sugar dried fruits. Fantastic. And they take them and tuck them away.
What do you guys gonna do if you run into a sandworm?
Oh, that shouldn't be a problem. We've got our sand
Die.
shoes.
There you go, towel.
Do they repel sandworms?
No, but they're attracted to the vibrations. If we're sliding, they won't be able to know that it's anything edible. It just sounds like sand moving across the desert. That's why they don't go for the sand ships, you'll notice.
Yes.
I mean, the desert, the sand hills, the dunes are always shifting and moving. The sound of sand shifting over each other, sand grains shifting, is very common in the desert. If the worms were chasing the sound of sand sliding, they'd be chasing the dunes all day long. It's the vibration.
They're a lot heavier than sand.
We can demonstrate if you like.
Find out pretty quick.
They start clipping on the sand
kind
shoes.
of vibration.
Yeah, so they start clipping on the shoes.
No.
And you watch as they begin taking on this weird sort of sliding motion. If anyone's seen cross-country skiing, it's exactly like cross-country skiing.
Okay.
As they begin sort of doing this cross-country skiing on sand, you can see the underside of the sand shoes has been greased with this very viscous white, looks like some sort of like rendered fat that's allowing it to slide really effortlessly over the surface of the desert. Why are you guys making weird faces about that?
But just picture it getting
Don't
really
you
sandy and
ASMR?
sticky.
Yeah, it's
Just white
just an
sticky
image
fluid
in
on
my
the bottom.
head.
White
Someone's
liquid on the
ever
bottom
dropped
of
like
their...
a steak in the dirt or something, or in the sand.
Yeah.
Like pick up like
Yeah.
a can that's wet in the sand at the beach, and it's just got all goopy sandy on it. Stuff.
Well, no, but that's why it's fat. So it's rendered fat, and so it's not sticking to the sand. It's, as it slides over, it just leaves this very slight light trail behind it, and they begin sort of moving around quite effortlessly.
So they're skating on bacon.
Yeah, sure.
I'm imagining it more like candle wax.
Yeah, it's a bit more like tallow. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if
From
Al, if you
where-
want to imagine it's bacon fat, please be my guest. I'm not going to stand in the way
where
of you.
Al is.
Yeah.
Making sandcastles. He starts thinking about the sandworm, so he just like literally just goes flat and rolls to the boat, and then like climbs up on the boat and sits on the boat, not walking on the sand anymore.
As you do, Al, the sand that falls off your clothes and gets inside your robes as you roll around, literally just rolling around, giving access to all the sand. As you sit on the boat, there's sand in your underpants, there's sand all over your shirt, up under your armpits. Your face has got a coating of sand on it from where you're a bit sweaty, and the sand is just stuck to your face as you rolled across the sand.
Like a dog, he like shakes everywhere and airbends all the sand off everywhere else, forgetting
The rest
everyone
of you
around
get-
him.
The rest of you just get covered in sand as Al airbends and pushes sand not just off his own body, but off the ground as well.
And Al sits on the boat and it's like, to the rock! Or north!
Airbend sand off face. Yes. All right, detective. We have work to do.
All right, detective.
Yes, Detective 1, let's do it!
Me and Lee
It
turn
was.
towards you guys, ignoring Al and Rung, turn towards Oki, Mako, and Shurva. Seriously, thank you very much. We really appreciate it. Yes, we're very grateful.
Just try not to die.
Yes, we can try not to die. Yep, that's the plan.
Just say that a
You
lot.
can try.
Yeah, we can try.
And
Do
we
you
wish
think it
you,
works?
at least I wish you the best of luck.
Well, thank you.
Oh, and
I
if you see
know
a
you
spirit
do,
fish, say hi for me.
A spirit fish. Yes.
Yeah, just-
Yes, I've heard the
Easter egg.
stories. We'll keep an eye out.
Cool.
Enjoy
And
your
not
walk
the
to the
Easter egg.
South Pole.
Well, we're not going to be walking. We're just heading to the coast to get a boat. Me's like, shh, just let them have that. Let's just go.
Ignore the
I mean,
bad.
just
Ignore the bad.
Edging out the conversation, just slowly like sliding back.
Yeah. The gravity's taking us away. We're
Like it looks like they're walking forwards, but they're really walking backwards.
Yeah. You watch as they begin sliding away, and after a few moments, begin taking off in the desert. It is currently nighttime, so it's not super hot. It is a little bit on the colder side. There's a few clouds in the sky above you, and the moon is currently waxing. It's a few slivers bigger than it was a couple of well, from your perspective, it's bigger than it was a day ago, but from Oki's knowledge of the moon cycle, she knows you guys were at the library for 2 days. So my question is, are you guys going to head to the rock now? Did you want to camp for a bit? I know Oki, at the end of last session, had done a little bit of like a care thing, like gone through, made sure everyone had water, was checking on people's wounds and things like that. So that's all been done. So my question is, do you guys want to head straight to the rock? What's the plan?
Do we
gonna do?
Travel forward towards it just a little bit and then rest up for the night,
Yeah,
get rid of maybe some fatigue and all sorts of stuff, but just not be right where the place where all the people were heading before, you know what I mean?
As a group, do we really want to go to the rock?
What's the point of the rock?
Good question.
Well, the Fire Nation went there in like a large group to probably go make weapons or like mine it. Because
I want to know what they're doing with it.
Because it's like a magnetic iron sort of thing, right?
It's an adventure.
Is that what it was, correct? Yeah.
It's a giant hunk of meteorite that is magnetic.
Yep.
If we can find out what they're doing with it, and we can get some like solid evidence, we can take it to. I was going to say the Earth Nation, but I'm not sure that's such a great idea.
Yep. Let's take it to those people.
But like, we could take the evidence of them attempting this attack on Ba Sing Se. Probably to Ba Sing Se would be the best place, and we could clear our names.
Or
Mako might still die.
What? What?
I just want to see the
Korra,
rock.
Al just wants to see the rock.
Well, we could camp out for a little bit and then we'll see how we feel in the morning. If we still want to see the rock, we go to the rock. If we want to go up to Ba Sing Se, then we just go check out Ba Sing Se and just see if maybe the person who was the king is dead.
What were you going to say, Oki?
Well, I was just going to say, if the Fire Nation are interested in this rock, they're probably interested in her power of some kind, and the more power we take away from the Fire Nation right now before they can attack Ba Sing Se, the better, right? So we really should be trying to stop them anyway?
And the brochure said it was a big rock.
And magnetic. So they can't use swords around us, so it's just going to stick to the rock. So we just get to fight with our fists and sand. And
sure.
stuff.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Sure.
Shurva, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking Rung's a fucking idiot.
Not a thought. That is a fact. What are you thinking, Shurva?
Honestly, I think that, like, where else are we going to go? We need to somehow clear our names. We're wanted criminals everywhere. We need to find some way to clear our names so we can live. Otherwise, we'll spend our entire lives on the run.
Suggestion. Start a cabbage farm. Start selling cabbages.
Yeah.
In the desert.
No, we move out of here. We don't have to be here.
Oh.
So that's not step one then, is it? Step one's get out of the desert. Come on, Mako.
Everyone out of the step 2. Start a cabbage
Start a cabbage farm.
if that doesn't work, tea shop. We got this.
Look, do you guys want a beach
Start a
episode or
cabbage
not?
farm, question mark, profit.
Profit.
Yeah, I think, do we here or nap further away from here on the way to the rock? Like, that's my consideration.
Here doesn't, like, where we nap doesn't matter. Here's fine, there's fine.
I'd probably rather rest here than rest closer to where the Fire Nation are.
Easy.
Let's move a bit because like those people, the Fire Nation people came here, so
That was my thought.
maybe we should move a bit.
Scoot just a little, like behind another
Couple
rock.
meters?
But the entire desert looks the same.
And
How
there's
will
no
they know where
giant.
they've been?
There's no giant sandstorm as a landmark now.
Yeah.
And you also know the desert constantly shifts as well, because all the sand dunes are constantly moving. Slowly, but they are moving.
So either way, if we stop here, stop later, like, we're safe. Like, you guys don't have to worry about that. Unless, our game master is a dick.
I don't think you can put that on me. You guys make decisions. Just because you make bad decisions doesn't mean it's my fault that shit happens to you.
No, technically
Oh no, my consequences.
Technically, they could use a compass to find us.
But the magnet.
But when you're a
I'll
big
use
magnet,
a compass to find the lodestone.
Well, it's
But also,
Don't
I
worry
just want to
about
point
it.
out. I just want to point out, just because otherwise I'm going to get too triggered. A compass, you don't have to go in the direction the compass points.
yeah.
All the compass does is orientate you to a direction so that you can go
Yeah.
any other direction that you want to go.
Yeah.
So,
So
just,
they would go. The library was this way. Therefore, that's the way we have to travel to find
so
the
the
library.
reason the lodestone's used in the desert is because the desert's constantly shifting. So there's no landmarks apart from the lodestone. So the lodestone is used for the compasses because A, it's the only magnetic source in there that affects them anyway. And B, it gives you a point at the center of the desert so that you can find your way around the rest of the desert using the center of the desert
So they
as
can
a
find
landmark.
us still.
So yes, I would say that you would all know how compasses work. Well, apparently not, because I had to fucking explain it. So maybe you don't all know how compasses work. Maybe Rung has no idea how compasses work.
Oh,
Want to
God.
go camping sometime? Just me and you.
No, you all know how compasses work. I hope.
usually Sister Taka just points in
Okay.
the right direction.
Sure.
All right, I'm on the boat. I'm moving sand just a little bit. Like, we'll just move 30 minutes away from here, and then we can have a nap. And just like start it up. Like I'm starting the engine, but I'm just like starting to shift the sand behind it.
We'll go do a
Toot,
burnout.
toot. Boat's about
Revving
to
it.
go. Yeah, revving it.
Oki swings
also
up
goes
onto the
choo-choo.
boat.
Alrighty. So you guys jump on the boat. You begin
Yes.
moving into the sand. After probably 20-30 minutes, on the horizon you can sort of see, lit by the moon and glistening in the distance, is a massive black stone metal-like object in the distance that gets closer and closer. You're currently
We went
following the
too far.
compass just dead towards this location. It's pretty far in the distance. You can only sort of just see it in the far distance, but it is now visible from where you guys are. And that's sort of your first hint that you've probably gone far enough, that you wanted to be far enough away that you could be away from the previous location, close enough that it's only sort of a 30-minute ride on your sand ship to get there.
Nap time.
Nap time?
Oh, you made it, everyone.
Alright.
I need a pee. Get out now.
Do we want to set up the tent, or do you just want to sleep on the deck of the boat?
Well, I could shift out the sand from underneath the boat and shift out some sand. They could have like a nice little dugout under the boat.
I don't want to sleep on the sand.
Okay, we don't have to sleep in the sand. I'll shift the sand back under the boat.
I will say, as you guys have been going
We
along,
have sleeping bags.
yeah,
Yeah, but it's still making movement on sand.
and as you guys have been moving along, you've seen the occasional scorpion just moving across the surface of the sand. You've seen the occasional sight of some desert spiders and lizards that sort of move through the night. Because at nighttime, the desert kind of comes alive a bit. The trick for the scorpions that you see is they're actually scorpion snakes. So they've got these like huge front pincers, this long elongated body with legs all down along the side, and they're slightly luminescent in the moonlight as they begin scuttling along the sand, then diving under as you guys get close. Scorpion snakes. Doesn't that just sound like the worst fucking animal in the world? Sorry about that.
We're Australian.
Hey, it could be a flying spider. Just saying.
Good
There
point.
are worse.
Things that are okay, not
How
bad.
many masts are on this ship? I can't remember. Is it just the one?
Just one mast.
It might not work.
What's that?
Oki wants to try something. She wants
Yeah.
to, using her paddle, she wants to sort of try and find a way to string her sleeping bag like a hammock between the mast and the other end of her paddle, so it's
Okay.
like more comfy. Like maybe like making a base out of some sand that she's just like lifted onto the boat, or
I will say that the rudder is a raised area that is turned, that's at chest height. The rudder is quite high up to help steer the ship. You could tie it between the rudder and the mast. It's kind of the perfect distance for a hammock, actually. You wouldn't even need to use your oar.
does she think that it will break either the mast or the rudder?
No. These are thick wood. I mean, how heavy is Oki? I do need to know that. Is Oki an average sized, average weight? Yeah,
just
she'll be absolutely
pretty
fine.
average.
No, I was kidding. You'd have to like to break the mast. You would have to be the equivalent of about 4 people. So no, it's not going to be possible. I just wanted
So
to have
all
fun with it.
4 of us sleep on.
Clear, yeah,
a
jump
hammock.
in the yeah. That's it. Yeah, no, you can set up your hammock and jump on in. Of course you can.
Heck yeah.
How are the rest of you sleeping? On the sand, on the boat? It's good for me to know. Big
On the
rudder,
boat?
that rudder.
On the boat.
Jesus Christ. On the boat.
Sorry, I was loving a chat.
On the boat after seeing scorpions.
Scorpion snakes, I should add.
Skakes.
Skakes. Or Snorpions.
Snorpions.
I like Snorpion actually.
No,
Sounds
watch
so
out!
dumb.
Just Snorpion.
Alrighty, so you guys are sleeping
more like
rough.
a
You are
Pokemon.
sleeping under the stars. You may clear 3 fatigue if you wish.
Oh, can I remove conditions if I?
If you've got no fatigue left,
then you remove
then-
conditions.
then I would say that you can clear instead of so you can use two of those fatigues to clear a condition instead. So actually, I'm even going to say that even if you've still got fatigue left, you can use the fatigue 1 for 1, or you can trade 2 fatigue to clear a condition. Two of the clearing fatigues to trade, to do a condition. Because normally it's like an option of taking additional 2 fatigue for the combat. So it makes sense that it would go the other way as well. I think I could be wrong.
Makes sense to me, DM.
Thank you.
You're in charge.
Well, you're my favorite,
Okay,
David.
so-
You're my yes man.
Out of the 3 fatigue, I'll use 1 to remove from just normal fatigue, and I'll use 2 to remove insecure, because I'd like to have skills
Yeah.
and training back.
Yeah, here we go. So in advance and attack and things like that. So you mark 1 fatigue to hammer them with your blows, forcing them to mark 2 fatigue or inflict a condition. So yes, in combat you can spend 2. You can inflict 2 fatigue or a condition. So I would say that when you're healing, it's the exact same thing. So you can heal 2 fatigue or heal a condition. So you've got three fatigue worth of points to heal, if that makes sense.
And I'm healing the condition guilty.
Okay, you don't feel guilty anymore. As Mako goes to bed, you sort of are sleeping through. You begin to feel less guilty as time goes on. As time's passed, you're not as aware of the guilt as well, and you've had a bit of a time to rationalize it now. As you fall asleep, your brain begins rationalizing it and being like, "Mako, you couldn't have done any different. You tried your best." Like, trying to why your
You're
brain
right.
sounds like the devil. I've got no idea, but
You're right. I did try my best.
Yes, you should burn all these lesser people and take control, Mako. You know what you should do.
You're
Why are you
right.
plotting so
Don't
much
listen
into
to
rest?
Shurva, Mako. Oh wait, no, you're already not listening to Shurva. Listen to Shurva, Mako.
Not sure
Yes,
about that one.
You should try listening to your guardian.
Shit was just whispering in his ear.
No, it's just Shurva. as you
Nice,
are going to
Guardian.
sleep, Shurva's like right up and you think going,
Mako, if you don't do what I say, I'm gonna fucking stab you.
you look around and like Shurva's like wrapped up, quickly rolls over.
What a
Shurva
weird dream.
Roberto from Futurama.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that. Don't worry. I'm not gonna do a character based on that. I'm just letting you guys know in advance.
Oh.
Because it hurts my voice to do it for more than about 10 seconds. So you guys, you have a lovely long night's sleep. Is anyone keeping watch during the night, or everyone just heading to bed? Sounds like everyone's heading to bed because no one said you all described going to bed. So
I would, if I keep watch. How much less fatigueness do I take off?
if you do it in shifts, if you spend 2 hours of your sort of like 6 to 8 sleeping, if you spend 2 of it keeping watch, no penalty.
I'll
And if you
spend 2 of it
spend
keeping
more than
watch.
2 hours, if you spend more than 2 hours awake, you don't get the benefits of your rest. It's
I'll
spend the
take the
first 2
second
hours.
shift.
second shift, and then we just need 2 more people to take a shift. Okay.
You'll take one.
Yep. I'll
So
be
just
off.
Marco sleeps the night through. The Fire Nation
Ah,
Prince. The
you.
Fire Nation Prince needs his beauty sleep.
You little prick.
Good old Daddy Murderer needs to sleep.
Daddy murder.
Daddy Murderer.
I imagine airbenders would wake up early anyway, so like
Yeah.
I'll naturally be waking up around that time.
Our friend Mr.
But,
Patricide needs to sleep. He needs his solid 8 hours.
That's a great word. No, it's
Patricide.
not. But it's
It's not, but it is.
it's a fun sounding word until you realize what it
Great
means.
We're gonna learn some
It's
fun
like-
words today, everybody. Patricide is when you kill your father. Fratricide is when you kill your brother. Matricide is when you kill your mother. What's the one when you kill your
Fenestration.
children? Can't remember. Fenestration is when you throw someone out a window. You kill someone by throwing someone out a window.
I love defenestration. It's the best
Defenestration.
word ever.
What did you say? Sorry, Ali?
Killing your sister.
Sister side? No, it's not that.
Sister side. Twisted sister.
No, that's also
fraternity.
still fratricide, isn't it?
Yeah, it's still fratricide actually, because
fraternity,
fraternity's
family,
gender
yeah.
neutral. Yeah, sorry. What? Yeah. And what's your children? I can't remember children. Infanticide is killing a child.
Infanticides.
Yeah.
Infanticide?
And this is how
Wow,
we
it
get
sounds
banned
like
on Twitch, everybody. We had a good time.
Sounds
Thanks
like
so
it-
much for joining
Is it
us.
Philistine?
Sounds like a
Right.
Disneyland thing. Oh my god. Learning with learning
Yeah,
philosophy.
filicide is children.
Yeah, it's
What's-
what
what's
happens at
filicide children?
Disneyland.
Well, it's where children's dreams go to die.
Brandon, I just gotta clarify this.
Goodness,
It
okay.
is like infanticide, as in cyanide, not slide.
Infanticide.
Infanticide.
The
Like
infanticide is
Fanta.
different. The infanticide is great fun. The
It's what's
infanticide.
Infanticide.
And this has had way too much attention. We're moving on. So,
Movie
as
quiz at the end.
as you guys go through your long rests, Rung, your shift passes. No interesting things happen. Shurva, your shift passes. Right as you're about to switch over to Oki, right as you're about to wake up Oki, you hear a low rumble, followed by the sound of probably, it would sound like a lightning crack, like a peal of thunder rolling across the desert from the direction of the lodestone.
Is there
It's a
enough
low
to wake
rumble
people
followed
up?
by a... No, not enough to wake you guys up. By the time it reaches you, it's more of the echo that you're hearing, Shurva. It's literally as you're like bending down to like give Oki a bit of a shake. Actually, how would you wake up Oki? Shake her, slap her, gentle head pats until she wakes up.
She is in a hammock. Don't forget.
Shake the hammock, just tip the hammock up. cut the hammock.
I would probably stand next to her and put my hand on her shoulder.
Nice. Yeah. So literally, as your hand is coming down, you hear this.
Wait
the distance.
a second. So she's tied to the rudder, which I use to steer the boat as it's going that way. So it should be potentially horse dragged and carted, or whatever you called it, like that.
If you
drag
cut
someone
the
at the
hammock-
back of a horse.
If you cut the hammock and then it was hanging down behind the boat, then yes. But I don't think Oki's going to cut her hammock strings. I don't think so.
I
And
thought she
drag her
might still be
behind the boat.
asleep. It'd be a great way to wake her up, just dragging.
No, because she's tied between the mast and the rudder. So she's definitely on the boat, tied between the mast and the rudder. So the rudder's here, mast is here. She's tied between them.
Learn this one
yeah,
out.
so,
Sandworm bait.
yeah. Sandworm bait. You've got the most important role on the ship of all. What's that? Bait. So Shurva, yeah.
We're going fishing.
I'm gonna be bait.
Can I see anything near the lodestone?
Out of the corner of your eye, there's a flash of light, and as you turn around, this sort of like afterglow of light disappears.
Okay, and the moon's not light enough for me to be able to see anything
Oh
else?
no, you're too far away. No detail. Just that you can literally see, like on the horizon, the rough rising of the stone silhouetted by the moonlight behind. But it looks tiny. It's very far away at this point. It's 45 minutes by sand ship to get there from where you guys are now. You'd estimate, so it's a bit of a distance, a couple of kilometers away.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's the god's revenge for waking me up. She's slowly trying to crawl out of the hammock, but she's so sleepy.
Yeah, actually, probably like with Shurva standing over you for this amount of time now, Oki, that primordial part of you, the hindbrain that like takes awareness of proprioception of what's around you, begins to kind of kick in. It's like, someone's watching you sleep, and you begin like waking up very slowly.
Can I make a sand staircase for Oki to get out of bed? Like,
No, you're asleep.
You're
shit's like,
asleep.
You're asleep. You're asleep.
No.
You're asleep. This is your shift ended. Shurva shift. You're fast. You've literally just gone to sleep. You've been asleep for 2 hours. Like, you are well and truly in delta waves right now.
Okay,
You are
sorry.
gone.
Okay, I'll
Also,
save my
Oki grew up
shenanigans.
on boats. She's very used to getting in and out of hammocks.
I wake Oki up and hey, there was this weird flash of light and this really loud bang coming from the lodestone. I don't know what it is. I don't really want to wake everyone up after what happened yesterday. So can you just keep an eye on it and
I'll keep an eye on it. The lodestone's still there, yeah? It hasn't disappeared.
Yeah,
or
The lodestone's just like taking off into the sky.
To be sure, can Oki pull out the compass and make sure that north isn't moving?
The compass is attached to the rudder of the sand ship that curves around, so you can see it clearly.
Yeah.
You just as you like sit up and lean forwards to look at the feet of your hammock, your hammock. You can just see it's there. It's still pointing in the same direction.
In that case, she just swings her legs out of the hammock, but she's still sitting in it like a bit of a swing kind of thing, and she's just staring pretty much straight at the lodestone, not unconvinced that it's not going to get up and walk away.
Bolto, sort of not really being a fan of being awoken, curls around your neck and tries to like use his weight to push you back down again. Making this sort of like and like pull you back down to bed basically. And then when it's clear that you're not going back to bed, scuttles down and curls up in your lap.
Aww. She's just patting him, just keeping watch.
As you do his
Watching the stars.
from Bolto. Complaining about being awoken. how dogs do. You wake them up by accident. Yeah. Shurva, you head to bed?
Yep.
Yeah, you just tuck yourself in. Oki, yeah, as the night wears on, after about 20, 30 minutes or so, you're looking directly at the thing. You know what to look for. You're looking at it now. There is a crack, and you watch as a lightning bolt comes down from the very slightly overcast sky and strikes the top of the lodestone with this crack and peal of thunder.
Binoculars.
No, I don't think any of you bought binoculars. You can check your bags though really quickly. I could be wrong, but I don't remember anyone buying binoculars. Or as they're called in this world, looking glasses. But then that's a stupid thing because all glasses are unless they're for drinking.
I guess she's taking turns between looking at the stone, looking at the lightning, trying to figure out if it's natural lightning or not, and then also still keeping an eye on the compass to make sure it's not moving.
Compass isn't moving. Do you want to make me a assess a situation check?
Does it also look like we might get struck by lightning, or is it she thinks it's pretty focused on
That sounds like an assess a situation question, I reckon. I'm no expert, but it sounds like one.
Yeah!
12 for success. For those of you that are wondering, tonight's stream is sponsored by Black Hops Brewery. Really nice beer. Good beer. It's not sponsored by them, but I wish it was because I would glad
money.
Yeah, no, they're sponsoring me as I buy their beer and drink it and really enjoy it, and I just feel like they deserve a shout out. It's a Queensland brewery. I love them. They're really good. Yeah, Oki 12. Yeah, your first question was, is this a natural phenomenon and are you guys in danger? So you get 2 questions. I'll include those 2 questions as one question because it's kind of the same thing that you're kind of asking. Is this a natural phenomenon? Are we going to get struck by it? I'm going to be a nice DM and I'm actually going to combine those into one question. The frequency of the lightning, despite there being very light overcast clouds, you get the sense that this could be a natural phenomenon, but not a natural phenomenon that you are used to. Lightning striking on a day that is fairly clear in night with no rain and no heavy storm clouds, it is a bit bizarre because you would know that lightning is generated by the smashing together of vast volumes of clouds, which are absolutely huge, massive amounts of friction between the aerified water. What's what I'm looking for? Is it aerified? Aerosol, the aerosol water. The friction between that is what generates lightning. So the fact that there's lightning coming from this is definitely odd. But you do get the sense this could be a natural phenomenon given the lodestone is such a vast magnetic force in the desert. Is it going to strike you? No. You get the sense that this is localized, judging by the way it's always striking the top of the lodestone. And do you have another question you'd like to ask?
Okay, yeah, the second question. Is the lightning coming from the clouds and coming down towards the lodestone, or is the lodestone firing lightning up at the clouds? Because if Oki knows enough about the formation of lightning to know how it's formed naturally, would she know enough to sort of go, well, could all the static of the shifting sands be passing a charge to the lodestone, and then the lodestone is just discharging this fucking lightning?
Oki, yes. What you just described is exactly what's happening. I'm very tempted to give you some form of inspiration for figuring that out so quickly. What could we... Yeah, do you know what? I'm going to give you a reroll. You can reroll a dice.
Yeah.
You get 1 reroll that you can spend when you want. That was very, very... You figured that out way too quickly. I was expecting this to be something we reveal like next session, but no, you just fucking nailed it. That's exactly what's happening.
Big brain.
All right.
The friction of the sand is absolutely producing the static charge, and then it's discharging something high up in the air. You nailed it.
Finally, a use for all the Mythbusters I've watched.
Fucking love Mythbusters.
Sin busting episode, yes.
Shout out to Mythbusters. If you haven't watched Mythbusters, what's wrong with you? Stop watching us, go watch Mythbusters, then come back and watch us.
Also,
Feed your
Adam
brain.
Savage Tested. Worth watching on YouTube.
Yeah, it is good. Jamie Hyneman doesn't do anything, does he, anymore? It's a shame.
No,
Yeah, I like
he
Jamie.
doesn't do anything.
No, Jamie Hyneman doesn't do any more things anymore. For those of you who haven't seen Mythbusters, and Brandon and I look like absolute weirdos, but if you watch Mythbusters, then that
That's
has
fine.
context. Somehow that's okay. That has context, and you will understand exactly what we're doing, and you'll appreciate it. Yeah. So no, Oki, absolutely correct. You've absolutely figured out what's going on here. Well done.
She's going to spend the rest of her watch then, like, as well as, like, you know, keeping an eye out for watch stuff. she's going to try and come up with a way to figure out like if there's like a way that we can not get struck by that discharging lightning when we approach the lodestone.
Yeah,
or see if there's like a way that we can use it to our advantage. Like if we see that there's Fire Nation, like if we can like try and attract the lightning and get it to pass through them instead.
Yeah.
I don't know, just
okay.
throwing out ideas.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You would know that while you are touching the sand, you are not a viable, and especially via wood or clothes, you are not a viable target for this lightning discharge. The fact that this lightning is discharging upwards is very strange. Like you're already a bit aware that that is a bit odd, because for the lightning to be discharging, it has to be connecting with something else, something that is grounded. Because electricity follows a path of least resistance, and it will follow a path that allows it to get to the ground as quickly as possible, as efficiently as possible. So normally, I mean, this big lodestone is in the sand, and it should be grounded. So the lightning and static electricity should always be grounded all the time. But it's not right now. That is a bit weird. You think as long as you are in contact with the sand, as long as you're not in contact with something else that's grounded and no longer contacting the sand or the lodestone, i.e. if you're flying, for example, potentially that could be a problem. Like an airbender.
She's gonna make sure.
As you think about that, in your mind, you're like an airbender. Like an airbender. Struck for the very first time. Yeah.
Yeah, she's gonna make sure she warns Al about that.
Yeah.
And also Bolto, like telling him like, okay,
on my shoulders,
buddy. Like you're not allowed to like jump off the ship. You're not allowed to launch yourself at anything.
The thing is, well, for Al to be struck, he would have to be grounded to something else than the sand and the desert. So if he's flying by himself, not too much of a problem. But if he was to come into contact with something else that was grounded, then the lightning has an arc and a direction that it can go. If he's just in midair, can't touch him. There's nowhere for the energy to go, so it can't follow that path. Electricity is really fucking cool. Study physics, kids.
Can I just say the way that
the
way that Owen looked at the camera and said that was classy AF.
Thank you. I have been, people comment on my looking at the camera. Apparently it's not much of a done thing, but I feel the need to look at the camera, so I do it all the time.
Sponsored by Brilliant.
Oh man. Is it Tash who calls me out for that all the time? One of the other streamers.
No, it's me.
Is it you? Is it? Okay, there you go. It's Bree.
It's literally me. I'm like, can you stop looking into my soul for like 5 minutes, please?
Just for 5 minutes. I can do it for 5 minutes. Done. I'm gonna come back though. No, it feels natural. Like I wanna look at you guys. You're lovely. So but I look away from you and look into the black void of my camera. Obviously. Into the black mirror. So Oki, you spend that time thinking through. As it comes to Arl's shift, you wake him up and pass on that information and then head to sleep. Is there anything else you tell Arl in preparation, or just good luck, buddy?
I think she'll mention the lightning and give him like her theory and just be like, hey, lightning's probably gonna go from the lodestone. Don't wake anyone up about it. I don't think it's a massive deal until later.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Sounds like it.
She's half asleep. Like, she just wants to go back to bed.
All Al heard was, lightning, it's not a big deal.
Sounds good to me.
Yep.
Perfect. Back you to bed. Back in your hammock. Yep. Climb up. Bolto then gets back on your chest and lies down. Begins sort of making little, like, cooing noises. Al, as you assume, position, begin looking out over the sky. After probably about 10 minutes or so, this lightning bolt shoots up towards the sky.
Al would have never seen anything like that before, right? Like, not even close. Maybe thunderstorms would be the closest thing, right? But is this more magnificent than like just lightning striking the ground?
Normal lightning strike, but the weird thing is
it's just striking the wrong way.
If anyone's seen lightning strike a tree or something, if you watch it in slow motion, I think from memory you actually see it arc together and meet. Is that right?
That makes sense.
They do actually meet. Okay. But when you see lightning crackle across the sky, you see it move in a single direction because it's not going to be able to arc and connect with. But if it strikes the ground, you would have seen it arc up and meet each other. But I don't think the human eye actually registers that super well. So probably, Al, from your perspective, you're like, oh wow, lightning bolt. But there's no rain.
Yeah, I'll just let out a little whistle. That's impressive. And he's just doing his learning calisthenics. And he's watching the lightning. He's watching the lightning. So we're pretty far away from the stone, right? Like we're
a couple
very
of kilometers.
far away. Okay, so a couple of kilometers. Can I see figures of
Sorry, that was
people?
loud.
Lines of people moving?
What was it? So can you see figures moving? No, you can only
Yeah,
just see
okay.
the stone on the horizon.
Okay. No, so yeah, I'll just sit on the side of the boat, his legs dangling off the side of the boat, just watching the lightning.
Yeah, fair enough.
And he's also reflecting on something Mako said last night about a farm for cabbages that you trade for money. Like the Airbenders have that first half, but that second half about trading cabbages for money is like blowing his mind.
I mean, you've probably always been told that money is a corrupting influence, that it takes a hold of you and it makes you want more. I would say that the Airbenders kind of treat money and financial gain like like ancient Buddhists would, which is, it's a bit of a corrupting influence and it's best avoided.
Yeah, I would say Al's been taught all his life that money is like it throws off your balance.
So So there's a bit of a curiosity there for you in a way, because Al's a bit of a rebel.
Well, he also hasn't loved having to depend on others having money to support him.
Yeah.
Because he feels he wants to be independent. I don't think he is, but he wants to be. So he's just feeling a bit of his entrepreneurship side is taking hold.
Teenage Al's sick of dipping into the bank of mum and dad. He's ready for his own financial independence. I love it. I love it so much. Yeah.
That's what he's thinking about.
Mom! Amazing. So as you whistle that, after a few moments, you hear from the mast above you a matching whistle.
Al looks up.
Perched on the edge of your mast is a bird with long, sandy brown plumage, almost like a peacock. Brown and black speckled body with a sort of curved hawk-like beak.
Hey there, buddy. Hey. So I'll stand for a bit and just kind of like, because it's up above me, right? On the mast.
It's probably 4 meters above you with the mast,
Does it look like it's like about to fly away and run away or skittish?
As you stand up, it sort of crouches a little bit as if it's ready to take off.
Yeah, cool. Okay, well, I guess Al stood up now and he's just looking at it and just trying to very slowly get he pulls out a ration. He pulls out I don't know, some vegan vegetarian hipster stuff. So dehydrated cabbage tails.
Yeah. As you pull that out, the bird cocks its head and goes, looks down at you.
Okay, Al holds it out, and he doesn't throw it, so he's just holding it and outstretched to the bird.
Because the bird is still, like, even with your arm fully extended, it's still 3 meters above you. It kind of like ruffles its feathers a bit and then opens its wings wide. You can see its wings are about 1.5 meters in width. They are huge. This bird is about the size of a peacock. No, total.
Okay.
It's about the size of a peacock, and as it opens up its wings and splays its tail feathers, you can see that its tail, which are these long plumes, very similar to a peacock as well, rather than having beautiful colours, it's all sort of sandy, dusty colours, but the pattern across them is a series of eyes, which are actually glowing faintly blue as it opens up. You can see the sort of faint light blue wisps coming off it as they glow in the night. The bird sort of makes this and then jumps off the mast, flies down and lands on the sand, and begins sort of like hopping a little bit closer, turning its head, sort of cocking its head and looking at you.
Al has the attention span of he very slowly climbs up the boat.
Yeah,
towards the birds.
Step onto the sand, it sort of jumps back a little bit. Tail feathers begin rising a little bit as you get a little bit closer, but it doesn't do anything else for the moment.
And Al's just holding out, and he's just like back to the bird.
Yeah, it repeats what you do.
Yep. The treat is still outstretched, and he kind of just like shakes it a bit to get the bird's attention.
Yeah. Oh, it's watching it. As you move your hand, the bird's head is following you exactly as you you hold the food.
Al breaks it in half, snaps it in half, and just like not violently throws, but flicks it.
Pegs it at its head.
Yeah.
As you chuck a little bit of food on the ground, it hops a little bit closer, pecks it up, swallows it whole, and then turns back and looks towards you, cocking its head and pops a little bit closer. Could I get you to? I reckon you are rolling with harmony. Could I get you to roll with harmony for me, please?
Okay, that's a flat roll. That should be good.
It's a flat roll, okay.
That is a 5.
5. Yeah, the bird doesn't want to seem to get any closer to you. It's happy to take food that you throw on the ground, but you're close to the sand ship. It doesn't want to get too much closer to you at this stage. It's definitely not a tame creature. This is a wild creature.
I'll take a bit of a nibble of the cabbage thing because it's already in his hand. It smells so good, dehydrated cabbage, as it does. And then throws the rest of the bird and just sits down and half watches the bird and half watches the rock from where he is.
Yeah, it'll eat any more food you throw to it, and then after a while, if you stop offering it food, it gets a little bit bored. Will begin sort of hopping around the sand ship, investigating it, and then
every time it does that, he offers it just a bit more food, but is very frugal of giving the food away.
Okay, if you spend a bit more time on this, do you want to roll me another harmony roll? See if you can. Because if you're spending a bit more time doing it, I would say that you've got a bit more of a chance to.
Al has completely lost track of his 2 hours watch, by the way.
That's fine.
4.
Oh, Al, I'm so sorry, man.
Oki, give him high reroll.
Nah, it's all right. You save that reroll for when we need it.
I will say, no, Ali's like, you need it now. Is that right? More animal companions.
You better get this one.
Okay.
Gods of the dice.
You may re-roll
Help
it.
us.
If Ali would like to give her inspiration to you.
I am donating my dinspo.
Okay, I'm happy for party inspiration donation.
Can
a great band name, party inspiration donation.
I guess Al's been doing this for a while. He's getting a bit frustrated that it's not taking in.
Yeah.
So I guess he holds a treat.
Yeah.
And he kind of like waddles like the bird a bit as well, and like whistles.
So you're making an argument that you're focusing a bit more,
or being creative.
Okay. I will allow I can see an argument for a focus roll. You are donating a lot of your time to do this. You are really committed. I will allow a focus roll.
Luckily, I used my level up to raise a stat by 1, which was focus. So it's a +2.
+2 to focus.
Yeah, I'm going to see if it automatically rolls. I don't know if it does. That's a 10.
10 is a full success. As you sort of fall back and you begin to think about what you've learned, one of the things that the Endomads are really good at is living in harmony with nature. And a lot of the time it's about understanding and looking at things and assessing and learning how they act. You spend a bit of time watching this bird. You spend a bit of time seeing how it acts. You begin to sort of fall back on your knowledge and your training about this and about how to interact with creatures. And you begin to focus a bit more and think through what you're doing rather than just sort of being in the moment. You begin to actually assess and plan what you're doing. With tiny little bits, staying really low, getting close, making those whistling noises, the bird does begin to approach, and after a while, it comes and takes a piece from your hand.
I'll just like make eye contact.
Yep.
And like raises his hand slowly as if to pet it, but doesn't actually pet it without permission from the bird. So he's like, his arms are just outstretched.
Yeah.
Like,
the bird bows its head low.
Oh my god! Al gives it like a nice light stroke.
Yeah, the feathers are very soft, but a little bit sandy.
Hey, little buddy. Hi. Oh, you're so pretty. Oh my gosh. And Al is just getting to know this bird.
Yeah.
Completely losing track of everything else he's meant to be watching.
By this point, the sun has begun to rise, and after a while, Oki, Rung, Mako, Shurva, you wake up because it is morning, and the sun is now in your eyes. And Al has not awoken you in the morning. As you awaken and look over, he's just playing with this bird. It's a fairly decently sized bird.
Tail feather kind of like dance, but like walking around in circles with the bird.
After a bit, you're really spending time with this thing, it will actually hop up and sit on your shoulder. As it digs its claws in, they draw blood, and this thing is heavy, but it is now sitting on your shoulder. It sort of like pushes your head away. It's the size of a peacock sitting on your shoulder. This thing's heavy. It is heavy, heavy, heavy. But you are managing to sort of stay upright a bit and just not wanting to move because it's sitting there.
Did Oki sort of see there's this giant bird and it's on his shoulder and it is now drawing blood from his shoulder?
Yeah, all of you see this.
Can she? Okay,
you might not see the blood because it's through his thick robes. You probably wouldn't see that just yet.
Would she have guessed that this bird has really sharp talons, similar to when Bolto tries to climb up her leg?
I would say yes. That's pretty obvious
All right.
looking at it. It's got like a
she
hawk's
uses-
talons and a hawk's beak and head.
Yeah.
It's a peacock.
So I've probably got like some spare scraps of
Yep.
like the old sailcloth that we originally used. So she's gonna try and sort of fold it up and make some sort of shoulder pad that I can have on her shoulders to give them a bit of padding and protection from those nails.
Ooh,
At the
okay.
same time, she also gets Boltos. Like she's sort of got like a bit of a dish that Bolto uses for water and whatnot. She's gonna fill it up with water and just sort of put it off to the side where the bird can see her putting it in case the bird's thirsty.
Okay.
And she passes all the padding.
You are relying on your skills and training to create this pad because you've had to create it for Bolto how many times? So that's skills and training. You know how to create these shoulder pads. You've had to do them before. For the water, yeah. Roll that and then I'll talk you through what happens. As you put down the bowl of water, the bird immediately... 3. It's shit. It's so shit. You've got no needle, you've got no thread. It's just folded fabric, and you bounce it on his shoulder. There's no way to tie it on or fix it. And as soon as the bird gets off, it just falls on the floor. And as you put it back on, as the bird adjusts its feet, it just moves it off and kicks it off his shoulder. It's just because there's no way to keep it in place without like needle and thread and a strap.
Try tucking it under your clothes.
It just falls down his
It's-
front and becomes a nipple guard at that point.
This is
I'll
wait,
still
lip-
think it's the greatest thing
Wildlife.
ever.
My man.
As you put down the water, the bird gives this very haunting cry, this whistle that sort of pierces through, jumps off your shoulder, scratching your shoulder quite badly, lands on the sand and begins drinking the water. As it does so, its tail feathers emerge again, and you watch as the light blue eyes, these sort of glowing blue eyes, condensation begins collecting around it as tiny clouds form around its tail.
Oh my god!
It's butt water.
I first thought, like, when you were describing those eyes, it was going to, like, drop scorpions or something on us when it was up above us high, by the way. I'm like, what terrifying thing is this going to do?
Spoilers. Let's hang on. Give me a minute.
Oh, no.
You watch this tiny clouds begin collecting around its tail.
What if I go to kind of poke one of the clouds? Like, that's a really
Yes.
fine bird you got here.
Your finger just goes through it. And as it comes out, condensation, water on the tip of your finger.
What is this?
Sandy. Well, what are you going to call your nice little bird here, Al?
Condensation while this is happening.
Yeah, just water bend it into your flask and fill it up again. Oki, straight away you realize that this bird is creating water because the amount of water you're feeding it isn't enough to compensate and to be responsible for the amount of water it's condensing. You actually get the sense it's condensing water from the air naturally.
What a condenser bird.
It's like it
It's
uses
like if she's got
really-
extra water, she is finding containers to put the extra water, and she knows how precious that is in the desert.
Yeah.
Your
It
bird's
looks
a
like,
filter.
based on your watching, that this thing actually uses water to condense more water to actually create clouds and seed clouds. Tiny ones, but nonetheless.
Al looks at everybody and he's like, you could say this bird is the quenchiest.
Yeah, I swear to God,
Tell me
if
you're
you
not gonna call him
call this
moist.
bird Quencher,
Quenchy.
Quenchy.
Oh, that's an
I like
emoji.
Quenchy. I was thinking of Moisty, but Quenchy's got a better ring.
Oh, and are we having roast chicken for lunch? Is that what's
It's
happening?
up to you. That's up to you, Firebender. Up to you,
Trevor just
Grillmaster.
looks absolutely pissed. I can't bend, but a fucking bird can. Are you kidding
Hang on.
me?
The original benders are animals. Like the humans learnt it from animals. Well,
It-
but
it's
then
bent
they
on
kind of like
its
retcon
fucking
that in Korra, so I don't know.
Parrots.
Really
Shurva,
is a curse.
as you say
I'm
it's
mad.
a parrot, it pauses, looks up, and you watch as the clouds begin getting darker and little flashes of lightning start pulsing through the clouds.
We're making you upset.
At this side of lightning, Al just uses a bit of airbending just to cool it down and like dissipate the clouds a bit, so it's less cloudy and less lightning.
Yeah, it calms down quite quickly. Oki, you can see the bowl of water that you gave it is empty. You just drunk all that water, but it has produced far more.
I'll give it a big hug, and he's like, "I'm calling you Quenchy."
I just imagine that, like, the storm clouds, like, it's produced around it, like, just shock you, like, when Pikachu hugs Ash hugs
Yeah.
Pikachu.
Not quite that bad. No, this thing can't produce lightning. It's not It's not more powerful than a firebender and a waterbender. It's just a natural thing that it's developed for the desert.
Thank God the boat will survive.
How was everyone's sleep, by the way?
Brilliant.
Fucking Mako. My sleep was perfect. I slept all night. Oh, I'm so rested.
Oh,
So I'll know this.
What a
I'll know this
dick.
already, but the lightning is coming from the rock, and it's going up into those little bit of clouds that are up there, which is, a little bit disturbing. But what if Quincy is a baby, and they're a much, much, much bigger version of Quincy up there above the stone, and the lodestone is like an egg or some shit?
first question. What lightning?
Go back to sleep.
Is the
Quincy, you're a
storm
baby.
still there, or is it gone?
There was never any storm there, never any thick clouds, just sort of light cloud cover. But as you have a look, the lightning doesn't seem to be striking anymore.
It's gone. I guess as the desert warmed up again, it wasn't getting enough discharge or something. Either way, a bunch of lightning was striking that lodestone, and it seems like it's coming from the sand going up towards the clouds rather than the clouds going down towards the lodestone. And I don't know, something's got to be conducting that lightning. I mean, it wouldn't be doing it on its own. So, but yeah, there could be a giant Quincy up there, and it's conducting to a giant Quincy.
Be a good old twist, wouldn't it?
Quincy, is there a big you up there? He's talking to the bird.
So you're telling... Wait.
Quincy said maybe.
And she cocks its head and goes,
Maybe.
So you're telling me that the giant meteorite that the Fire Nation went to is really good at conducting lightning?
Yeah, but in the opposite direction to what you'd think.
And there's a giant water chicken in the air, apparently.
I
No,
don't.
that's just a guess.
That bit's way less important. It's more it's really good at conducting lightning.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's
Which is
generating
something
its own
that-
lightning.
Which is something that the Fire Nation is known to be doing. Occasionally.
Are the Fire Nation people more conductive to electricity than other people?
I mean, they can channel it through their bodies and use it as a weapon.
Can you do that, Mako?
Such a classic fucking Shurva comment. Yeah, they can channel it through their bodies and use it as a weapon.
I mean, I learned
That's
how
so
to
good.
in this
Like,
role.
what of it?
I know the basics,
So-
I haven't tested it.
Well, I mean, were you looking for a way to practice?
Not really at the moment. Seems a bit out of my league, but eventually, yes.
But see, here's my other idea that is slightly less crazy than a giant Quincy in the sky. If we go towards the stone, as long as we're grounded, we're not going to be a target. The second we are not grounded, we touch something else and create a path for this lightning, we gonna be fried chicken. So,
Crispy.
I guess what I'm saying is, Mako, you need to go first.
What? Hang on a second. Hang on. Hang on a second.
Yeah, that makes sense to me
There-
too.
No,
Sounds legit.
there is a huge issue with that. You have to be in control of your emotions to be able to handle the lightning correctly, and you know Mako.
He isn't well in control. He sounded like he was having great dreams last night. I think. Something
Yes,
about
Wait,
Mako,
no.
forgive yourself.
As he mutters in his sleep.
No, his voice. Stop that.
I thought I was only meant to hear the voices in my dreams. Oh well. I'm probably not in the best state, but I'm pretty sure Rung could go first, seeing he is technically grounded all the time.
I see what you did there, and I love it.
Yeah, thanks. I'm trying new things. You know how it is.
That's good.
I like
That's a good one.
sand bend some sand up my leg. Yes.
And
I'll stand up. He's like, yeah, you're right. He is grounded in his emotions.
Boo.
I mean, yes.
if you're taking care of Quincy and you're
Sorry,
bringing
everyone, that was
Quincy
loud.
with us, then you need to be really careful he doesn't become a target beacon for this lightning discharge. Because he is he can fly, and he's water. We don't know if it's like pure water or salt water or, we don't
might end
want
up-
fried chicken.
We might end up with a snack. I'm okay with that. Worst case scenario.
He is not going to be a snack.
No, he is a snack. Like he's very good looking.
Quenchy is friend, not food.
I'll doesn't understand. He just doesn't. He doesn't compute to him that like it'd be cooked meat. What do you mean that?
Well, if Quenchy gets struck by lightning, she's going to get really hot, and when creatures get really hot, they don't
Tastes
live
really
anymore.
good.
Especially when covered in garlic and butter, and I've got some right
Oh
here.
god, yes.
Making some
Some of the
FFC
fancies.
firebender fried chicken.
Quenchy snack?
Quenchy snack.
I just had to say that. You quenchy snack.
God. All right, firebender fried chicken is now a thing. It is now a cuisine I have in the world
Fuck
of
yes.
Avatar the Last Airbender, FFC. I'm going to work on that. I'll get back to you when I've got that all done.
I want to see a logo.
I mean, Quenchy survived this long before we met him.
Not near
In
the
this
lightning
area?
stone.
Yeah, I mean, if he follows you, and we take him somewhere where maybe he's been trying to avoid, if you get my drift. I'm just
Yeah,
saying be
okay.
careful with him, okay? Keep him safe.
don't.
Paul looks at Quenchy and is like, "Be careful."
Or don't.
We'll be
Then,
fine.
then we get to eat. I mean, then we feast.
Just like, can I like kneel down next to the bird or his shoulder and be like, see that? Like, put my thumb down, like, go good, bad, Trying to communicate my best way I can with this bird.
As you hold out your fingers, he tries to nip them.
Oh, so cute. Give him my thumb to nibble.
It's not a nibble. As he bites down and draws blood, the wicked hawk
cute.
beak, the hawk-shaped beak, designed to tear small animals of the desert apart so this thing can eat them, shreds your thumb. As you pull it back, there's a deep gash about 2 centimeters wide, just cut through the center of the fleshy part of your thumb.
Thinks I'm food. Ah, I'm a snack.
Bad Quenchy. No, bad Quenchy.
I thought he liked
this.
cabbage.
Oki holds up Balto and just sort of indicates, my friend, not food, and then shoves it back down her.
How do you indicate that, Oki? How do you indicate that as you hold up your friend?
No, and then, like, protectively, like, she's got, like, her arms around him. So, like, it's just sort of, you can see that there is a Balto there, but indicating
as you pull out
possession.
Balto,
A challenge.
immediately eyes clock on, and every time you move Balto, the eyes are just on Balto. The wings sort of come out and flap a little bit, and then it tucks its wings away, cocks its head and watches Balto very closely.
And she,
I was like, no eat.
It looks back towards you, goes,
matching the body language, she's, she's doing her own little protective, like, squaring up, like a...
okay, do you
Like
want
a
to try and
chicken.
intimidate for me? Do you want to try and intimidate? Let's see it.
Does she look like a chicken? Let's find out. Hey,
11.
she does not look like a chicken.
Okay, as you sort of puff yourself up and like, yeah, take me through
Like
your
a protective
intimidation
mum,
technique.
or... So,
Protective
Oki has seen sea eagles and albatross seagulls, I'm assuming is a thing somewhere, and she sees
Pelican
how
hawks.
the parents, how the parents will defend their chicks.
Pelican hawks eat babies.
when-
They're terrifying. Oh, sorry, carry on.
Yeah, so that if like a creature's coming up towards a pelican hawk's nest, like they do this puffing up thing and do the intimidation, protect the chicks, sort of do the mine, you're not going to come towards us. So she's doing her best from what she remembers.
Yeah.
And trying to mimic that kind of behavior, thinking maybe it's like a universal language between birds.
It seems like it is. As you do this and sort of put Bolter down and do this like sort of very intimidating display, the peacock hawk kind of backs down a bit and then lowers its head very submissively. Bolto, sort of seeing this, begins moving a little bit closer, stretching his nose out to kind of sniff this new friend. Do you let this happen?
Al is right next to Quenchy. Just I want to point out,
Yeah.
like he's right.
With
Quenchy,
a
sorry,
very
I'll start calling him
watchful
Quenchy.
eye.
Yeah.
With a very watchful eye, like the cork is off her waterbending thing. Like if it looks like it's going to come to a scrap, she's going to immediately
Cut
put
its head off
a
with waterbending.
square of ice
Oh, yeah.
between them, like try and form like a wall,
Yeah, yeah.
and just to sort of keep them separate, because he doesn't want either of them to get hurt. Like,
No, fair enough. Yeah, Bolto gets a little bit closer, sniffs. Quenchy's keeping its head down, not really making eye contact. And then as Bolto gets even closer, Quenchy kind of looks up quite suddenly, and you watch as Bolto leaps and dives under and around its legs. Quenchy sort of gets a bit surprised and frightened, starts like puffing up, trying to like move away from Bolto as Bolto sort of like starts moving around it very ferret-like.
Al's right there. Al's just hand on Quenchy, just being like, calm.
Yeah.
Calm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Quenchy begins to sort of calm down with your touch, and then as it sort of Bolto calms down a little bit too. They move forward, they sniff each other, and then Bolto runs back and scuttles up your shoulder, Ricky.
Yeah.
I'll gives Quenchy a dehydrated cabbage.
Quenchy eats it.
Snack. Yep.
and then
Alright.
Oki fifth pop file. Good introduction.
My question is, what are you guys doing now?
The
So
start.
like the rocks over there.
We'll start gathering some
Come this
sand
far.
behind us. Shh, shh.
I'm
Like
next
it
to a
looks like a nice
corkboard.
hula girl dance.
I'm putting red lines between different photos, trying to connect everything in my head. Like, what,
What are you
what
trying to
does this all
connect?
mean?
Talk me through. Well, let's hear your thought process. Let's hear what Marco's thinking.
So, like we discussed before, that like the Fire Nation is out there to try to get weapons.
Yep.
And like something from the meteor, and conducting lightning. That's not a good sign. That can be used as a weapon for us. Are we trying to weaponize lightning into what? That is a very big question. Will this connect to the spirit thing? I don't know. When and where? How long is this going to take to get used? This is all very big problems.
So what you're telling me is on the scale of who, what, when, where, why, and how. You've got who? Fire Nation.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, and
That's it.
Yeah. What's the likelihood of them knowing that we're wanted, seeing that they left before us, and if they got in contact with other groups of people? I'm just trying to figure out like the logistics behind that.
Do you want to roll me with focus? See what you can kind of figure out. See what you can put together. As you spend a bit of time thinking this through, do you want to roll me with focus? See what you can kind of piece together in your mind.
So, mixed.
9, mixed success. You ask me one question, I will answer it honestly, within reason, based on what you just went through. Then, not like who's the big bad.
Obviously.
Mako. Marco's the big bad. All right, cool.
Yeah, I am.
There's your answer. No, yeah.
What
What's
is
a connection you
this?
would like to try and figure out?
Media life.
Logistically, would they have much connection with other groups outside of the platoon that went to the?
Good question. You know that the Fire Nation use Ember Hawks for messaging, so they will attach messages in the legs of Ember Hawks, and they will fly between different encampments and groups. You know for a fact that they have access to that. Whether or not the Hawks would survive a trip through the desert is a
Are they
good question.
big? Are they big hawks? Like they're
Smaller than Quenchy. They're the size of a. It's a good analogy
And-
for size. They're about sort of like 40 centimeters from beak to tail. They're not huge. Wingspan of I
And
think about
would you
80
say
centimeters
that
from
the-
memory.
that the whatever wasp thing demon
Buzzard
creature
wasps.
that-
They're like
Yeah,
2 meters long. They're fucking
Yep,
huge.
cool. Okay, so
Massive.
their
Yeah.
chances of surviving aren't great, but
Buzzard
there is
wasps
a
are
lot.
the size of people, I think, from memory. Let me double check. I think if I remember the anime correctly, the buzzard hornets. That's it, buzzard hornets. From memory, they're huge. Buzzard wasps.
So there is a small chance, a very small chance that they know, but not that big. Cool.
It doesn't say how big they are on their thing. That's unbelievable.
5 meters.
About the same size as Sokka's head from the series.
They're actually not that big. Why did I think they were bigger? That's
It's the
so
same
crazy.
thing that he had, yeah?
Because you're evil.
In my mind, I remembered buzzard wasps being like the size of a person, but I don't think they are. I think they're
Oh,
actually.
I think I know why, because it's always the camera angle that
Oh no, I'm getting them mixed up. I'm getting them mixed up with the canyon stalkers, the canyon crawlers. That's why I'm conflating two different animals. No, so yeah, okay, that makes more sense. No, these things are about the size of a hawk as well. Oh man, that's so crazy. In your mind, you have such a clear image of something.
Yeah.
That's just completely fucking wrong.
But they would have to cross like the territory of the buzzard hornets anyway.
Yeah, they're just big enough to pick up Momo. Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. I thought they were bigger than that.
Well, I mean, like the guy at the Misty Oasis,
Misty Palms Oasis. Yeah.
All we know is what he told us, right? So for all we know, they might be big. And like
true.
the stories of them exaggerated.
Yeah, true.
They do look terrifying.
They're not small, but they're not big.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yes, Marco,
Okay.
you think that it is possible that they're communicating. However, you can see there could be a number of barriers interrupting communications.
Okay, cool. I'm going to take off all my fire bending clothing.
So Marco's getting nude. Is anyone else joining Marco?
I'm going to change into the clothes that we got from the shops.
Start taking my
already
shirt
wearing
off
it?
until I realize you're just
No.
changing. Like, oh.
I've always been wearing my Fire Nation garb with like just a headpiece or like the goggles on.
That's right.
God, it must be hot under there.
Yep. yes. I will back
I
that up.
thrive in the heat. I don't understand.
Oh.
So yeah, my question is, what are you guys doing?
Al's standing next to Rung, and Rung described himself as doing the hula dance. Al's doing it next to him without any bending. He's just doing it with them.
Is there like, oh yeah, get the sand, get the sand.
You
I'm
think
pretty sure
he's
it's way
like
too easy.
airbending, but he's not.
I forgot what he taught me. I'm just making it up my own shoes now. Like this, that works. Looking good, man.
Yeah.
When's that air coming along?
As you guys begin getting closer and closer, after about sort of 20-30 minutes, you can see the rock, the Si Wong rock, rising high above the landscape and the shifting sands. And the closer you get, you begin to actually see there's large cables that are tying the rock to the desert sands. Metal constructions have been built along the sides, including scaffolding. And around the base, you can see a number of large tank-like constructions, those large ironclad tanks that you saw in the library. You can see 3 or 4 of them are set up around the base, and a series of tents, about 6 tents set up around the base of the rock on the north side. Northeast side, sorry.
Oh, how into construction are you guys, destruction are you guys feeling today? Because that is most definitely Fire Nation. And, they're being bad, and we're gonna try and stop them, and so, we can freely destroy things with impunity, right? It wouldn't be bad for us to do that?
It'd be bad.
And you wonder why you're a wanted criminal.
Yeah, like you like
Just wanted. I never heard the word criminal.
I definitely heard. Was it criminal mentioned or was it?
You were
war
called
crimes?
murderers.
Murderers? Yeah,
Yeah.
murderers. Yeah.
And war criminals as well, actually.
War criminals. Yeah, I was gonna say like we were definitely war criminals at this point.
Yeah, you are wanted war
We're
criminals.
not war criminals, but we're alleged war criminals.
You are wanted by the Fire Nation for war crimes.
Their campaign.
Hey, I've abandoned my
That's
village
it,
once. What's a second time?
Okay. This is a lot.
Come on, you want to destroy stuff. We need to stop them.
Okay,
Unless you
yeah,
wanna take one of
you're
those tanks,
right.
Because
Mhm.
that could actually be quite cool. But then
A
we don't
bat-
have any way to power it once we're away from the
A
lodestone.
battalion of trained Fire Nation soldiers and workers versus 5 kids?
Yeah, 5 teenagers.
What could go wrong?
And your peacock hawk
Seriously.
and Bolto.
Oh yeah, you're right. We have 2 animals. Yeah.
Quincy
sorry.
and Bolton.
Yeah.
But, Mako, look at what they're standing next to. I mean, they're not exactly on stable ground
you're right.
now.
Tanks.
I mean, all we have to do is arc the multiple pieces of metal together, and they go kablooey.
So as you guys are talking,
So if we can...
one of the
That's
tanks begins sort of, you see black smoke pour out of the back and this and it begins moving across the desert directly towards you guys.
Burning fine quality coal. I can see it in the air. They'll be here fast.
Yeah, the very rapidly coming towards you. You can see that the top of it is open, and a Fire Nation soldier is sort of sitting up, his sort of chest and torso visible above the top of the tank. Hair sort of blowing in the wind, tied up back. He looks like maybe a higher up member of the Fire Nation Guard, sort of squinting through his eyes as he looks towards you across the desert.
I think we stop here, guys, just for a sec.
We're gonna run or attack?
No, just stop, because if we go further, we're definitely gonna get more attention. If we run, we're gonna get more attention.
I think
So, Rung, do you bring
We can take them on. We take them on port side. Just come from the side and we blast them with air and fire.
Is that the
And
side of the
water.
nearest port?
No, it's at one side of it. Don't tell me which one. But we come. I heard of someone else say it. I'm a captain now. I
the
have to know
left
these things.
side, Rung. The
Are
left
you
side.
slowing down the sand ship, Rung? That's what I need to know. Or are you continuing forwards?
We continue forward, but then when I get starboard port side on them,
Yeah.
then I slow down a little bit so I can fire, and then we speed up again and we flank maneuver and come back around behind them. Are you with me?
No,
I'm with you.
no. I value my life.
Chaos team!
As the
Guys,
as the
guys?
tank begins coming towards you, Rung, as you turn the sand ship out of the side of the tank, you hear this and this metal line of tarp, sort of this metal cable with tarp drop down, fires across the bow of your ship, and these metal cables sprinted, like basically dig into the sand, these metal weighted belts strike into the sand, and you just crash up against this thing. The tarp absorbs most of the impact, and your sand ship is brought to a stop. On the top of the tank, this Fire Nation soldier looks down towards you and goes, "State your business, sandbenders. What are you doing here?"
Sightseeing.
We are tourists.
The stone is legendary. How
We could-
do you not get 50 visitors here a day? I mean, it's
we
like
come
literally the only
from
point coming into the desert.
What was the place called? The
Misty
Uh,
Palms Oasis.
Is that-
The multicultural hub
Palms
of the
Oasis.
Oasis.
multicultural hub of the Oasis. That's it.
The Fire Nation soldier looks towards you and goes, "Sorry, are you telling me that you've come from the Misty Palms Oasis to
Yes.
look at this thing? I find
It's
that
a
very
big
hard
rock.
to believe."
Said it was rather nice. Like he was talking all about how it moves compasses and it's a fun metal to look at.
But are you
So
not a
watch out for-
sandbender? Do you not live here in the desert? You're dressed like sandbenders.
Yeah, I move sand. I start swishing some sand. Like,
It,
I
yeah,
know you're an
I think it's sort of-
earthbender.
Leather
Cooler
appropriate
dance.
clothing.
It's the annual pilgrimage. Haven't you heard of it?
Yeah, we finished
Uh,
our school year and now we're just, enjoying ourselves.
Everyone has to go do their pilgrimage and go see the lodestone.
Okay.
honestly, I think it's weird. I didn't know that there was a gated entry here.
Okay, I'm gonna need
have to
a
pick
trick and
boys?
NPC, please. If you could roll trick and NPC, I believe that's with creativity from memory. Okay.
Does she get help from any of us with our other comments?
She
We're
gets help
very,
from
very-
Al. You get a +1 to this.
Do sandbenders
Plus
have
one.
school? Just out of curiosity.
Nope.
Yeah, cool.
11.
That's
It's
including a
more
plus
just, despite there being heavy contradictory information and you just saying things that are flat out known to be false, because all of you are kind of speaking at once, he's finding it very hard to keep up with what each of you is saying in turn. Just like I am as a DM. I'm very confused by your explanations for why you're here. So I'm not even having to roleplay this. The guy's just like, it's one at a time. So you're here to examine the rock. I'm sorry, the rock is out of bounds. It is under Fire Nation protection for the moment. We are investigating this site. We have no reason to come close. This is our location for the moment.
Why?
We are investigating on behalf of Ba Sing Se University and the Earth Queen. No need for you to have any
Why would
questions.
they ask Firebenders to do that?
I don't think that's any of your business now, do you?
But why?
Can we see
Okay,
the lodestone?
Do you wanna try a persuade or plead with an NPC to get him to tell you?
Because we need to know, so when we go back to the Misty Oasis, that more people don't come looking for this stone. Because,
Also,
you get lots of visitors. So we can go back with a good reason.
in addition, I think your rules kind of stink. I mean, Like, I'm sorry, you can't own the rock. I mean,
We don't own it. We're
just
investigating
wanna
on
look at
behalf of the Earth Queen,
we get a
Basing Sea
permit?
University. And the reason that we're here,
Landmark.
Fire Nation scientists are some of the most intrepid
Boring.
and inventive in all of the lands.
I'm gonna go and sit at the back of the boat as far away from this as possible,
Okay, that's wise.
so I don't
Yeah.
have a panic attack listening to this.
It does
yeah.
make sense that as a firebender you stay away from this dumpster fire. You can recognize a fire when you see one.
Yep.
This might not be a physical fire, but this is definitely a bit of a
Yeah,
dumpster
fire.
fire.
Well,
Is that so? Do you have a move?
Can we
your
see it?
rules
Like,
stink?
when would you finish?
Hang on a minute.
this
Hang on.
science?
Slow down. What?
Okay.
Okay. What was that? Speak up.
so instead of taking the advanced ice in the level up, I took another playbook move.
You took- your rules stink. When you stand up to an adult by telling them that their rules are stupid, roll with passion. On a hit, they are surprised by your argument. They must shift their bouncer off your way forward. Please, absolutely. You 100% met the conditions for that. Their rules stink.
You know you're at -1 to passion.
What? No, I'm not -1. I'm +1.
I thought you were bold.
You said I thought you were bold.
You don't get to pick your own.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. No, I just went with the default. I guess
There's a
you're-
default, but
no,
you
no,
can
Oh,
pick your own.
okay.
Oh yeah.
Give me a heart attack.
You were
when I do
terrified
that.
for a second then. That was real fear on your
I'm
face.
so scared.
Quite enjoyed that. Your rules stink. Mixed success. When a hit, they're surprised by your argument. They must shift your bouncer off your way forward. A 10 plus both. On a miss, your efforts to move them only reveal how strongly they believe in their system. Mixed success. He's sort of taken aback by you being like, your rules are dumb and stupid, and you're stupid. And he kind of pauses a second and goes, if you had permission from Basing Sea University, you said your students here. If you had permission to visit the site, then I couldn't deny you access, but
Hey, Rung. Use your badge of authority.
You think that'll work here?
Yeah, we're here to investigate the stone too.
as you say this in front of the man, who's like a meter away from you, goes, "What badge of authority? What are you talking about?"
Well, I don't like to bring it out in public, so I feel like a bit of a douche every time I
Are
bring
you
it up.
still talking about your badge? or-
Yeah, here's my badge here. I pull out my badge, like, as you can clearly see, I pull out my Coley badge. As you can see here, I've done a bit of work around minerals my side, a few things, mineralogy and all those sort of things like that, university terms.
I was going to give you advantage, but the fact you called it mineralogy does not do you any favors.
My family's even in the minds of, like, mineralogical. There's a word there. I don't know what it is.
There's a word there.
Mineralogy. Can I have you please?
Your dad literally worked in it.
So you are using your special move badge of authority. Could you please roll with passion? Let's see how you do.
I'm passionate, alright.
Oh boy, I'm not holding high hopes for this. This is going to be a nightmare. I can already tell.
Oh, you're right.
Please be a full success.
It's not going to be a full success. It's not a full success. It's a miss. Okay.
Start dusting off the coal. Maybe he didn't see it properly.
Crazily enough, on a miss, the authority of your badge doesn't sway them. They do as they please, and you take -1 forward against them. Strangely enough, Rum, as you hold up this badge, he goes, "I don't give two shits if you've managed a coal mine. How is that relevant here?"
You're right. I just put it away. No argument. I still feel foolish from the other days. I'm just
I've
like,
listened to your foolish and childish banter for long enough. Either give me a valid reason for you to be here or leave.
We're here for the uni, and if you're making us leave, we need to know why, so we can go back to Misty Oasis and tell old mate at the inn to not send more tourists this way.
If you're from the university, why are you talking to a man at the inn?
And he gave us
We came here for directions. We went to Misty Oasis for directions and spend the night because we're not savages. And
my dad's a lawyer.
Did I forget how the compass works?
And also the fact that you would have had to walk past the lodestone to get from Basing State University to the Oasis.
it's a bit of a holiday as well. It's like schoolies mixed with like.
I am so sorry about our friend here. He tried the cactus juice.
Yes, that
What he
sounds like
means
something.
is
That sounds like
say-
something foolish children would do.
So we had
What
to
he
use at the
means
end
to
the
say
cactus
is
juice.
we're on spring break and we went to the Oasis for a holiday.
It's autumn. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm not going to do that.
Is there a
I did not
shovel
tell
on the
you. I
boat
did not tell
somewhere?
you what season it was. Oh, or maybe I did. I can't remember. Did I tell you what season it was at the beginning of the series? I think I might have actually. I will allow you to say spring break. This fine, Ben. He doesn't know what spring break means, so he will let that slide because he doesn't know what it means. Carry on.
Is there a shovel on board somewhere so I can start digging out
Digging a
graves?
hole? No, don't worry.
Yeah.
Ron's got that covered.
Yeah, he can earthbend. We're on spring break. We went to the Misty Palms Oasis as our break, and on our way back, we have a term paper due next semester, which is about the lodestone. So we thought we would come and investigate it ourselves, get a bit of inside information to assist us with our research.
Metallurgical research we have to do. That's what I was looking for before.
Will you
by the way.
shut
Cactus juice is awesome.
It'll quench you. Shurva, that sounds like a plead with an NPC. Could you just plead with an NPC?
I'm really bad at these. Would it be a trick? Can I trick?
Oh yeah, no.
instead?
I absolutely. There is definitely room for trick. I will allow you to do a trick or a plead.
Give
Absolutely.
her help, or did we
They
not give her help?
use
No,
different
no.
things.
You got. You
Yeah,
did not
use
help her at all out.
creative.
You said the opposite.
If anything, I think you made a roll
Yeah.
with disadvantage.
It's already a -1 because of Rung's failed badge of authority. So carry on.
Huh? Huh?
-1 heading forwards to try and persuade them to do things. Remember, on a miss. What'd you roll? Come on.
Isn't that just from him?
Full success.
That's
Don't even
success
worry.
anyway, yeah.
Shurva, he sort of looks
Good
towards you and
roll.
goes, I was informed that there would be a number of students coming out. I thought they said a couple, but guess it could have been you lot. Fine. Stay away from our operations. You can investigate the southern side of the rock. If you interfere with any of our work, your professors will hear of it, trust me. It will be
Thank
an
you.
international incident.
Then we'll be famous, but no, we'll be
Quick
good
question.
students. I tip my non-existent hat.
He sort
Which
of looks at you
side's the
very
southern
confused.
side of the rock?
Yes.
That's a
Yes.
good question.
Which side is
How
that?
can we tell which side is the southern side? If a compass is
He
always
points at
pointing
the
the
sun.
rock.
He points at the sun and goes, it rises in the east and it sets in the west. I think you'll figure it out.
Also,
Yeah.
it's also the side they're not on.
Writing in the notes with the coal pencil.
fair.
Sunset at east. West rises.
If it's the afternoon and the
Carved
sun's on
into
your
rock.
left, if it's the afternoon and the sun's on your left, then you've nailed it.
What if I turned around?
Okay.
Anyway, we should go.
We are not the top of our class. Thank you.
Clearly.
Sand bend away. Shh. Cool
I'm
it
into the back.
Cool
I'm
it
into the back with like my hands over my face, just like, why is this happening?
As you guys
Guys,
begin sort of
we did it.
sandbending away, the fire nation sort of pops back below, and then he hears the sound of like talking from inside the tank, and then he pops in and goes, "Wait, hang on a minute, stop, come back here. There are 5 of you, correct?"
Are we too far away to hear?
No, so they just started to sandbend because they're still blocked. Like you're having to sandbend backwards to get out of the roadblock they put up, the sand block.
A sand
Hang on a
bend,
minute.
scooched the boat just a little bit back, sand bend
Yeah.
back, just a little bit like back.
5 of you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're on the
There
lookout
were
for
7,
5
but we,
children.
We split up with 2 people just before, so we were actually a group of 7.
Sort of looks down below and goes, "What? 5? Not sandbenders." Gets back up. Where are you from? All of you answer at the exact same time on the count of 3. Tell me where you're from. 1, 2, 3.
Passing Sir
Passing Sir.
University.
Hey.
Earth Kingdom.
Earth Kingdom.
Rung's gonna get us killed.
He's legitimately from here.
Rung is what I like to call.
Rung.
Rung's what I like to call a plot anchor, where he's just at the back. Every time you guys are like, "Oh, we got this," it's just like, "No."
He's our Sandbender tour guide. It makes sense that he's not from the university. Come on, do you think he's from the university as well?
Okay.
Am I wrong?
As you all answer Barsing say except for Rung. He gives Rung this like, obviously, fuck, you're an earthbender. Jesus Christ.
Where are you from, sir?
In the name of the Fire Lord. Fine. Passing say. Very well.
Where are you from, sir? If we're sharing.
I start scooting
Fire
the boat back a
Nation,
little bit.
as he looks at Rung.
Hula dancing the boat away. Well, I think it's time to do some research.
Have you seen any other travelers in the desert? The Misty Palms, a group of children. They'd be similar in age to yourselves. From a water
they nice
tribe,
people?
Earth Kingdom,
Oh,
air nomads,
hey,
and the Fire Nation.
guys, you don't suppose it was those buddies that we saw back there that were eaten by the sandworm?
Sorry, what?
Oh, those rags in the ground
okay.
with the blood in them.
Yeah, so we were sailing past, and yeah, it's sort of like, and Oki sort of like, she looks up at the sun, tries to get her bearings, and she points back towards where the actual bodies of those original sandbenders that met
which
their
direction-
untimely demise.
Which direction do you point, Oki? North, south,
Okay,
east, west,
so
southwest, northwest.
we w- the Misty Palms was south of the Lodestone, yeah? And we
Yes.
traveled I was watching on the map as well. We traveled
We traveled
east.
northeast to get to the
Yes, we
library.
so she points generally southwest.
Yes, very well done.
So she and she actually full on describes the rocky outcrop, the like the little like half down shelters and everything, like, you know, as much detail as she can. And she's like, we were going past and we saw absolute carnage, along with some really blatted, torn, bloody clothes. We just went, oh shit, there are sandworms in this area, and we fucked off that way as fast as we fucking could.
Trick an NPC for me, please.
Trying to
One
convince the
thing-
world that we're dead. I like it.
It's good.
There's one
No, it's
thing
clever.
I was just thinking here.
Uh-oh.
No, I'll let something happen in a second.
Were you thinking?
I'm thinking what's probably going to happen out this outcome.
Oh, Oki, I'm so sorry. 4.
Oh.
Sort of looks at you and goes, The area you're describing doesn't make any sense. They were last seen the Misty Palms Oasis. I don't think this is them. Stop wasting my time with your stupid stories. Carry on, you've got 2 days at the Rock. I'm guessing wrong, that's you sandbending?
That's me sandbending.
Okay,
Do the
right,
hula
yeah.
dance.
Yes. As the ship begins sort of moving away, you watch as this like as the tank drags back in this length of wire with the tarpaulin of the weights at the bottom, pulls it back into the chassis of the machine, and it begins taking off back towards the western side of the Rock.
When we're
as
at
you guys,
earshot. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, go.
I'm just going to
No.
say. And we're at earshot, I'm just going to say over Lara, I'm just like, Oki, pretty sure that sandworms don't actually eat people and leave them bloodied. Pretty sure they spit them out. Just something I thought would be a problem in our story.
Where did all the blood come from then? Oh, that was us.
Yeah. We are murderers, remember? Apparently.
Yeah, that was you guys. You were the ones who caused it.
Okay. I'm not gonna. We're not murderers, but we're not war criminals. Like that's where I'll draw the line. We're not war criminals.
We're not war criminals, guys. Come on.
I've clipped that. That's worth a clip. Alrighty, yeah. As you guys begin moving along, sorry, no scraps of metal wire, Oki, until you get much closer. As you arrive at the bottom of the lodestone, yeah, there's massive holes carved in the rock all over the surface. It's deep holes that carve through, but you can see around the base of the rock are the desiccated and bloodied corpses of a whole bunch of buzzard hornets and buzzard wasps. Most of them burnt or charred in some way. You can see that
Giant insect buzzer.
No. On the platform, you can see there are a number of firebenders in full, almost like full heat-proof clothing. And every so often you hear bzzz, and a buzzard hornet will fly out of the nest, and they will just burn it out of the sky with firebending. It looks like they are taking a very active approach in controlling the wildlife here around the rock. But yeah, as you guys approach, you can feel anyone who's wearing any metal, the metal begins to become quite sort of pulling on your body towards the rock. If you've got any metal fillings, they start to sort of no. As you guys get a bit closer, the compass magnet begins spinning around in a circle the closer you get to this, and eventually the compass is useless. But that doesn't matter because the rock is right in front of you. As you reach the base, around the edge of the rock, sections of glass that are curled up around it. In these strange patterns that almost look like lightning strikes, like bolts of lightning curled around, made out of the sand, these sections of glass, which Rung, as an earthbender, you would recognize as fulgurite. When sand is struck by lightning, it forms this sort of semi-glass-like structure called fulgurite. I will post a picture in chat if anyone wants to see what fulgurite looks like. Because fulgurite's
Yes,
really
please.
cool.
Are we close enough? And is there any shards broken off that Oki could have? She wants.
Yes.
If I
you
was
pick up
to
a piece of
jump,
fulgurite.
would I be electrocuted? No.
I have learned way too much about lightning and electricity tonight, and
No, you
also
haven't. You've
the
learnt the
name of
correct
killing children. So,
But that was your
And your
fault,
parents.
line.
yeah,
Not related, by the way.
Wait.
Not
Click on
related.
that too.
If I hold my sword up, would I be like, yeah, probably.
Your sword is pulling
Find
against
out.
your leg quite heavily.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. But yeah, as you guys park up, you can see these sort of sections of like striations of glass through the sand. And the Si Wong rock stands before you. And I think that is where we will wrap up tonight as we hit bang on 2 hours. I reckon that's a good point to wrap up for tonight. We'll keep it a slightly shorter session tonight. I say short, 2 hours. And we will be back for our normal length, which is around like 2.5 next week. Now, next week, we are going to be doing this on a Thursday. That's right. We're Thursday nights from now on. Thursday night is where it's at. The only reason we're not a Thursday night tonight is because I'm moving house on Thursday. I don't have any time to do both this, and I don't think my internet will be connected in time. So no D&D this Thursday. We will be back for more Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition with our Tyranny of Dragons campaign tomorrow night. Get excited for that. We've still got our 2 guest characters joining us, Tom and Jared. So that's going to be lots and lots of fun. But from all of us here tonight, that is everything. I hope you've really enjoyed Avatar Legends. Remember, you can actually start playing this game yourself right now. The quick start guide is out on Magpie Games. If you just search Avatar Legends, Magpie Games, you'll find it straight away. Really, really cool RPG system based on Powered by the Apocalypse. I really, really enjoy it. I think we're all really, really enjoying it. That'd be fair to say.
That's awesome.
Wicked.
I really like the heavy RP element.
Yes, yeah, and I think
Something
actually,
different, you know?
for any people that I'm introducing to D&D, I think I might actually use this first because it's really streamlined, whereas D&D can be quite clunky, shall we say. There's a lot of stuff to remember and mechanics and things like that, whereas this is super streamlined.
well, they've gotten
plus
so
one-
many
plus one
additions by this point.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
And then
yeah.
sub editions.
And they keep adding,
books.
and like errata as well.
Yeah.
So like they keep correcting stuff as they publish it, and then realize that you can make broken combinations. For example, Paladin Sorcerer multiclass. If you want to win every game of D&D 5th edition, and yeah, you can't win a game, but if you want to be immortal and unstoppable, Paladin Sorcerer multiclass, unbelievably powerful. Ooh, exactly. They still haven't fixed that. It's been D&D 5th edition's been out for what, 8 years now, and they still haven't fixed that.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable.
That'll make me feel old. Why would you say that?
Sorry. Oh, I forgot there was one more piece of news. I had my birthday on the 6th. Forgot about that. I'm 28 now.
Hey, happy birthday!
Oh, you're old.
I know. I'm almost
Hey, how's
30.
it, guys?
How sad's that?
Now I'm turning 30.
Oh, I love Inside by Bo Burnham. It's so good. Yeah. So yeah, fuck, I am old. It's very true. Yep.
Happy
I'm gonna
birthday.
argue with that. Yep. It's just a fact.
ABD.
So thank you everybody for joining us for Avatar the Last Airbender Legends. We will see you all again next week, but come and join us again tomorrow for some Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. Until then, stay safe, stay well, and we will see you all again next time. Farewell!
Bye-bye, everyone.
Goodbye! Outro.